Check 1, 2. Check. That was it? Okay. Fair enough. Good call, Sam. See, you're fixing all the problems today. Sam comes in and gets it all. Good job. Now, let me do a loud call as if it's a home run and tell me if it's peaking at all. Okay. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. That was good. No peeking. No peeking.
This is Ridgefield Raptors baseball. The pregame show starts right now.
Well, hi everybody and welcome to the Ridgefield Outdoor Recreation Complex for game number 25 in the West Coast League at home here at the Rourke. 24 games are scheduled in the summer. Home games in the West Coast League. Number 25 comes in the postseason. It is the first postseason game in Ridgefield Raptors history, a team that opened up in 2019, and here we are in the second season as a franchise, and the Ridgefield Raptors are in the playoffs for the first time, hosting the Corvallis Knights. Game one here tonight at the Rourke, getting underway about 3 minutes from now, and down in Corvallis tomorrow for game two, also at 6:35, and an if necessary game three of the best of three series would come Monday at 6:35. Divisional series in the Southern Division. It's Ridgefield and Corvallis trying to make the championship series against either Yakima Valley or Bellingham. Thanks so much for joining us as we make history tonight with the Ridgefield Raptors, and let's get you the first Ridgefield starting lineup in Raptors history, as announced by Chris Cota, who was the coach back in 2019 when the Raptors just barely missed out on the playoffs, and now ends. Leading off for the Ridgefield Raptors and playing shortstop out of Linfield University, it's Tanner Jocks. Batting second, the second baseman from College of the Canyons, Mikey Kane. Batting third, the first baseman from Pacific University is Isaac Lovings. The cleanup man and designated hitter for the Ridgefield Raptors is Will Chambers. And batting fifth and playing catcher tonight from Seattle University, Grant Heiser. Batting sixth, the right fielder from Oregon State, Brady Casper. Batting seventh for the Raptors, the left fielder, Doyle Kane. Out of College of the Canyons, batting eighth, the third baseman from Eastern Oregon University is Brooks Dyer. And batting ninth, the center fielder from Clark College is Quadrice Teague. And the starting pitcher tonight for the Ridgefield Raptors will be Brock Gillis. Opposite him is Drew Dowd, who gets the start for the Corvallis Knights. And here's the starting lineup for the Knights, who are going for their fourth consecutive, make it fifth consecutive West Coast League title if they can win these two rounds of the playoffs. It'll be Travis Bazana to lead off, incoming freshman at Oregon State, who is now the all-time leader in batting average in West Coast League history. Set the record. He's the batting champ this year, and not just tops in the league this summer, but tops ever with a .429 batting average. He's the second baseman today. Batting second, the center fielder, Briley Knight. Batting third, the designated hitter, Nick Vogt. Cleanup man, first baseman, Kiko Romero. Batting fifth, the catcher is Tanner Smith. Batting sixth, the right fielder is Kyler Stancato. Behind him is Tyson Corio, batting seventh, and the left fielder. And then it's the third baseman, Spencer Scott, batting eighth. And rounding out the nine, the shortstop, Riley Way, out of Lewis Clark State, who had the home run to give Corvallis the victory in the finale here at this ballpark just a week ago as Ridgefield came down the stretch. It was the second to last series, and it was the Knights versus the Raptors, and it seemed like if Ridgefield just won one of the three games, they would probably, not for sure get into the playoffs, but they'd get the tiebreaker over Portland and move a game ahead of the Pickles. And if they got that win, it seemed mostly sure that they would get in. They did not win a single game in that series and still got in, as you can see, needing a lot of help. In the final day of the regular season, Ridgefield came in a game behind Portland and without the tiebreaker, which normally would put you out of the playoffs, because even if you win and the other team loses, you would still not get in. The variable there, the helper, the spoiler, was the Bend Elks, who came in also tied with Ridgefield. And Bend also won, beating Corvallis to force a three-team tie. And although Ridgefield did not have the tiebreaker with the Portland Pickles, they did have the tiebreaker when it's a three-team tie with Bend, since Ridgefield went 6-0 against Bend. So Bend stormed back and won 8 of their final 9 games, not to get into the playoffs, but to send Ridgefield into the playoffs, because had Bend not done that, Ridgefield would not be here right now. They needed that three-team tiebreaker, and the Bend Elks were the ones that helped Ridgefield in. So thank you to the Bend Elks on behalf of the Ridgefield Raptors. We're ready to get underway. My name's Josh Warden, pleased to bring you playoff baseball for the first time in Ridgefield Raptors history. Ridgefield in the home red uniforms, white caps, white pants, as Travis Bazana steps into the black Corvallis Knights uniforms, gray pants. They have won every West Coast League championship since 2016. Won it in 16, 17, 18, 19, and the league did not play in 2020, so they're going for 5 straight here if they can beat Ridgefield and then whoever they may face in the championship series. Brock Gillis on the mound, the right-hander out of University of Portland, as we are ready to get underway in the divisional series. First pitch from Brock is a fastball in the zone for strike one. And it's 0-1 to Travis Bazzana. Brock Gillis coming in with an ERA of 4.17, a 2-2 record, getting his 7th start on the year, allowing a batting average of 238 on the summer. 0-1 pitch, changeup fools Bazzana, and it's 0-2 to the leadoff man. Travis Bazzana out of Sydney, Australia. Came stateside to play collegiate baseball. He's already committed to Oregon State, which was his top collegiate team that he wanted to play for coming out of Australia, and the Beavers wanted him too. And he's playing in Goss Stadium this summer for the Knights. The 0-2 pitch is outside from Brock Gillis. 1-2 the count to Travis Bazzana, who's hitting .429 on the summer with 18 doubles. That's second in the league behind only Caden Connor. 5 triples tied for first. 30 RBIs, just a couple spots behind Caden Connor as well. 1-2 pitch outside again from Gillis. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff man. Top of the first inning on a warm, somewhat hazy day in Ridgefield. Will be the only home game of the series, no matter which teams win here. Games 2 and 3, if necessary, would be in Goss Stadium. 2-2 pitch is a fastball off the plate. And after an 0-2 count, Brock Gillis has run the count full to Travis Bazzana, left-hand hitter, incoming freshman at Oregon State. And the best batting average, not in team history, in West Coast League history at .429. Here's the payoff to Bazzana. It's high for ball 4. And Travis Bazzana takes 4 straight balls after getting ahead 0-2. And it'll bring up Briley Knight with 1 on and nobody out. 3-man umpiring crew tonight. Normally it's a 2-man crew, but the playoffs, we go extra here. Tim Heigl behind the dish. Mike Carr at first base. And Pat Rivera is the third base umpire tonight. Brock Gillis looking over at first, where Travis Bazzana is the runner. Briley Knight the batter, another left-hand hitter, as Bazzana gets a throw over to first and gets back. Briley Knight, who transferred from Utah to University of Portland, played with the Corvallis Knights back in 2019, a championship member of that squad, and maybe the team leader. He was, after all, the MVP of the West Coast League. Runners going on a pitch up high, ball 1. Bazzana gets in safely for a stolen base on the first pitch to Briley Knight. Ball 1, and Bazzana's in there after a pickoff, and Bazzana is safely into second. He's a speedster as well, as in addition to his tremendous hitting. And a solid second baseman. He's played some outfield as well. He can do pretty much everything. He hasn't pitched, so you can take 1 knock off there in Travis Bazzana. But everything else, he can do it pretty darn well. Briley Knight is the batter, and the center fielder from UP. It was the 2019 West Coast League MVP, hit .357 that year. Now he's 22 years old, playing for the Portland Pilots. 1-0 pitch. He hits high to right field, but not too deep. Brady Casper coming in, and he'll have a play on it. He does make the grab. Bazzana does not advance on a fly ball to shallow right field. And Brock Gillis has 1 away in the top of the first inning. No score here between the Corvallis Knights and the Ridgefield Raptors. The Raptors finishing the regular season at 26-22 on the summer. Went 16-8 at home, and get an additional home game here in the divisional series. So the Ridgefield did stumble a bit down the stretch, losing 4 of the last 5 home games, and did lose a game against Walla Walla in that final series of the year, which seemed like it might knock them out of playoff contention, but turned out not to. First pitch is lifted by Nick Vogt, foul. Vogt out of UC Santa Barbara, a .351 hitter on the summer. Has Travis Bazzana on second, 1 down, top of the first inning, and a scoreless ball game to open up the divisional series with the Corvallis Knights, who finished 37-11 on the regular season, best record in the league. Did lose their final 2 games to the Bend Elks, although Corvallis did not essentially have anything to play for. 0-1 pitches on the outside corner for strike 2. It's 0-2. Corvallis really had already locked up both a playoff berth by winning the first half and home field advantage in the divisional and championship series, should they make it that far. And so they did not have any contentions home field wise, as the umpires now talking with or towards, I don't know if Mike Carr is discussing towards Brooke Knight or towards Brock Gillis, but Mike Carr, the first base umpire, is talking through. I don't know if there's some chirping going on or what's the matter, but Mike Carr says his piece, and we should be ready to go. I think he's discussing things with Brooke Knight, who's the head coach for the Corvallis Knights. 0-2 is the count, 1 away. Brock Gillis comes to the plate. It's in the dirt, blocked by Heiser, and a 1-2 count. Behind the dish is Grant Heiser, Brooks Dyer at third base, Tanner Jocks the shortstop. His double play mate Mikey Kane at second, Isaac Lovings playing first, Brady Casper in right field, Quadrice Teague in center, and Doyle Kane out and left. Wind blowing steadily towards right field here at the work, where it plays best towards right. A lot of home runs to that way, not as many as left, as Travis Bazzana dancing around at second base as the pitch at the knees for strike three on Nick Vogt. Brock Gillis gets to his 37th strikeout of the summer. And he has 2 outs with a runner on second. Walked the first man, then a fly out and a strikeout. Kiko Romero is next out of Central Arizona College, the cleanup hitter for the Knights and first baseman. So Corvallis finishing 37-11, losing 2 straight to Bend. That did not affect anything for them other than the intangibles of momentum and so forth, but did not change their own outlook except for the team they played. Had they beaten Bend, Portland would have been their opponent, but they lost to Bend, allowing a 3-way tie with Ridgefield coming in, and that's why the Raptors have made the postseason, finishing tied with Bend and Portland as Romero swings and misses the first offering. It's 0-1 with 2 down and a runner on second here at the Rourke. Brock Gillis trying to get out of a scoreless first inning. His 7th start of the year. He's 2-2. The 0-1 pitch, changeup, swung on and missed. Gillis coming off a most recent start against Corvallis on August 6th when the Raptors nearly beat the Knights at Goss Stadium. Gillis, the right-hander, 6'2", 200. Played for University of Washington this most recent year, transferring to University of Portland and committing about halfway through the year. He's got an 0-2 count on Romero with 2 down, and a fastball schemed backwards to keep the count at 0-2. He'll sit in the low 90s on the four-seamer. Touches 92 there. Travis Bazzana, who led off with a walk, is on second base, 2 down, 0-2 the count, and a scoreless ball game here in the top of the first inning. Corvallis, which won the championship last 4 seasons, not to mention 2013 and 2011 and 2008. So 7 championships since this league opened up. A pitch off the plate for ball 1, 1-2 the count on an off-speed to Kiko Romero. The Corvallis Knights have made the playoffs every year since they moved to Corvallis, originally in Aloha, moved in 2007, and they've made the West Coast League postseason every year since then. And won 4 straight titles. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and Brock Gillis strikes out 2 in a row to end the frame. A leadoff walk goes nowhere, and Corvallis strands a runner on second base. We head to the bottom of the first inning. It's Tanner Jocks, Mikey Kane, and Isaac Lovings, the scheduled hitters, in the bottom of the first inning. Stay with us. No score in Game 1 of the divisional round.
A lot has changed in Clark County since C-Tran began service in 1981. We've changed with it. 30 bus routes, 2 bus rapid transit projects, and millions of rides later, C-Tran has grown into an award-winning transit system serving Clark County, including the city limits of Ridgefield. Please join C-Tran in celebrating an amazing 40 years serving you, our community, with activities happening in 2021. Look for details at c-tran.com, and thank you for 40 great years.
Ridgefield Main Street thanks you for supporting the Raptors and downtown, the heart of Ridgefield. Spend the moolah you win at the game at downtown shops and restaurants. Upcoming events include Main Street Day, C-Tran Shuttle Downtown Tailgate, and the Friday Night Flicks Outdoor Film Series. We are a nonprofit organization dedicated to preserving the cultural heritage of downtown Ridgefield while advocating for its future. More information at ridgefieldmainstreet.com and find us on Facebook at Ridgefield Main Street. We'll see you downtown, and go Raptors!
Bottom of the first inning here at the Ridgefield Outdoor Recreation Complex, Game 1 of the divisional series. Corvallis Knights going scoreless in the top of the first inning, and Tanner Jocks will lead off for the Ridgefield Raptors. How about this for Ridgefield to make the playoffs? Went 27-27 back in 2019, and then got the Raptors' first winning season as a franchise this summer. And it seemed like Ridgefield would have a winning season but miss the playoffs It came down to the final day, and Tanner Jocks played a critical role in Ridgefield making the playoffs after the Raptors were shut out in Game 2 against Walla Walla, registering just 3 hits on the day in that middle game loss while Portland won. And so it seemed like Ridgefield's playoff hopes were dashed, and they nearly were. We were estimating maybe just a 5% chance that Ridgefield would get in, and it worked out as Jocks grounds the ball right back to the pitcher, Drew Dowd fields, and underhands to first. 1 away on the first pitch that Tanner Jocks sees and hit it fairly well on the ground, but right back at Drew Dowd. 1 down, and Mikey Kane, the batter. Tanner Jocks, an inside the park home run in Game 3 when Ridgefield again registered just 3 hits on the day, but it was enough. Scored 2 runs in the top of the 10th inning on a wild pitch and a pass ball. And Ridgefield ended up winning the finale 4-2, sending the Raptors to the playoffs. Mikey Kane, the batter, second baseman today, takes a pitch from Drew Dowd for ball 1. And a 1-0 count with 1 down, bases empty, bottom of the first inning, no score. Drew Dowd, the 6'2" left-hander, 195 pounds. He's from Belmont, California, and pitches for the Stanford Cardinal. Ground ball up the middle, and Mikey Kane gets a base hit, first playoff hit in Raptors history. And Mikey Kane is up to 10 for 20 now on the season, just joined the team a couple weeks ago. And Mikey Kane into first on a 1-out base hit. And both batters have grounded balls up the middle, one fielded by the pitcher and one past the ankles of Drew Dowd. 1 down, 1 on, and Isaac Levings, the batter, played for Ridgefield back in 2019 at the close of the regular season. Would have been on the playoff roster had Ridgefield made the playoffs that year. Just missed out by 3 games against Walla Walla. Took that playoff spot. And Levings on the playoff roster here for the Raptors. Batting third, takes a ball high, 1-0. 90 miles an hour from Drew Dowd, who has a runner on first, 1 away. Bottom of the first inning, no score. Dowd is 2-0 on the year, a 2.07 earned run average, getting his 3rd start of the summer, one of which was against Ridgefield. 1-0 pitch is high to Levings, 2-0. His 8th appearance, a 20-6 strikeout to walk ratio, and a really good average. Doesn't allow a lot of power either. 206 batting average allowed, and the slugging percentage almost identical, just 219. So very few extra base hits allowed by Drew Dowd. It goes out of the stretch. The 2-0 pitch is hit off the hands, foul from Levings. 2-1 the count to Isaac, who's 7 for 31 on the summer. Good for a 226 batting average. He's the first baseman today. His main position is catcher, but he's familiar with playing first. Did that a fair amount with the Reno Rams, the college summer team he played with earlier this summer, and then joined the Raptors after that league finished, and when Ridgefield needed some more players, and Isaac has filled in well. 2-1 pitch, way high and outside. 3 balls and 1 strike to Isaac Levings, 1 out. Bottom of the first inning, Corvallis did not score in the top of the first. Ridgefield gets a man aboard on a single by Mikey Kane, who takes his lead from first, being held on by Kiko Romero. Isaac Levings wiggling the bat, readying for Drew Dowd's 3-1 pitch, a fastball in there for strike 2, full count to Isaac Levings. Isaac has been hitting the ball well since joining the Raptors. Had 2 balls that he just launched against Walla Walla. One of them going for a home run. Both of his 2 hardest hits registered 106 miles an hour off the barrel, including a solo home run in the opener against the Swedes. Here's the payoff pitch to Levings. He swings late, and it is strike 3 on Isaac, 2 down. First strikeout of the day for Drew Dowd, coming off a start against Ridgefield. In fact, the starting pitcher matchup here, Drew Dowd and Brock Gillis, are the same starters from August 6th, rematching against each other and against the same teams. That is their most recent appearance. Drew Dowd did not factor into the decision. He left when his team was trailing, and Brock Gillis also left when his team was winning, but Brock Gillis was the losing pitcher as Will Chambers fires off the first pitch. It's to fairly deep center field, but playable for Briley Knight, who drifts backwards in front of the track and makes the catch. Well hit ball by Will Chambers, but to a difficult part of the ballpark to hit home runs to, with the wind not blowing too hard, and it's towards right field in front of center field, which is about 380 to straightaway center. And it's a scoreless first inning for both teams. 1 hit for the Raptors, no runs, and 1 left on. And we head to the second inning. No score between the Raptors and the Knights. The divisional round series game 1 continues after this.
This is WSU Vancouver, Southwest Washington's only 4-year research university. Whether in person or via distance delivery, WSU Vancouver offers high-quality education and an employer-respected degree. You'll get a small school feel in the kind of place where you know you matter. Here, you'll get personalized education that brings out the best in you and inspires you to achieve your highest goals. Now what are you waiting for? Apply today.
The Ridgefield Raptors are thrilled to reunite with fans and enjoy summer baseball again. Join us for America's favorite pastime. The Raptors are following state guidelines for spectator events and ask for your patience as we prepare for exciting West Coast League play. Please be courteous to our staff, fans, and players as we celebrate the return of your Ridgefield Raptors this summer. Let's make it a great season at the Rourke. Get your tickets now at ridgefieldraptors.com. Go Raptors!
One inning in the books in the playoffs so far in 2021. The Ridgefield Raptors and the Corvallis Knights setting off against each other in Game 1. And both teams go scoreless in the first inning. Brock Gillis will now face Tanner Smith, Kyler Stancato, and Tyson Corio in the top of the second. Ridgefield coming into the playoffs for the first time, finished 13-11 in the first half and the second half. As Brock Gillis starts out the second inning with a ball to Tanner Smith, a .225 hitter. He's headed to Oregon State out of Chandler, Arizona. 18-year-old facing Brock Gillis for the first time today. 1-0 pitch. He swings late on it. 89-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 1-1 to Tanner Smith. So Ridgefield getting in. It's always fun to kind of do the Ridgefield wouldn't have made the playoffs if ... All the factors that came into Ridgefield being here today as a changeup gets Tanner Smith swinging. It's 1-2. To the leadoff man in the second inning, no score. And there are several factors. After all, Ridgefield got in and a tiebreaker. So you take any game that Ridgefield won, and if they had lost it, well, Ridgefield wouldn't have made the playoffs. And there are several games where Ridgefield got a win and got into the playoffs essentially because of that win, or because of ones like them. A pop-up in a shallow right field. Brady Casper comes in, and he makes the catch, drifting almost in front of it. And it kind of got taken by the wind, perhaps, a little bit over Casper's head. He had to reach back over his head and make the grab. In right field, a fly out to open up the at-bat. Casper seemed calm with it, didn't freak out, even though it seemed a little bit tough to locate into the white sky here in Ridgefield. A somewhat cloudy, hazy day at the Rourke, and Brady Casper fouled the ball and made the grab. One down, bases empty. Stancato, the batter, he himself familiar with the difficulties in right field. He's starting in right today as he fouls a foul tip into the glove of Grant Heiser. 0-1. No score, second inning. One out, bases empty. Ridgefield made the playoffs because of multiple reasons, but one of them, June 10th, just the fifth game of the year, when Ridgefield got down 7-0 against Portland. As Stancato sprays one to left field, playable for Doyle Kane. He runs towards the line and makes the catch in fair territory, 2 down. Ridgefield got down 7-0 after 2 innings and chipped away at the lead. Was within 4 runs in the 9th inning, but bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. It was still a 4-run margin. And Ridgefield scored 4, all with 2 outs to tie the game, send it to extras, and ultimately won on a walk-off in the 13th inning. That was over the Portland Pickles, which Ridgefield ended up tied with at the end of the year. So without that win, Ridgefield would not have made the playoffs. The next batter is Tyson Corio. He fouls one away. 2 down, bases empty, no score. Same thing in a comeback 5 days later against the Bend Elks, down by 2 in the 9th inning. And Dominic Enbody's single gave Ridgefield the go-ahead runs, won that game against Bend. The very next day, Dominic Enbody got in a pickle and the ball was thrown away, scored in the 9th inning, and won the game because of that run. And Ridgefield had a 5-3 victory on June 16th as Gillis misses. 1-1 the count to Tyson Corio. Then in the rubber match against Bellingham a couple of weeks later, Cody Darcy came in for a pinch hit opportunity in the 10th inning, launched a 3-run home run on the first pitch he saw as Corio fouls one away, 1-2. So that walk-off win gave Ridgefield the rubber match victory and was one of the many reasons why Ridgefield made the playoffs by 1 game. A month later, another walk-off, John Peck with a home run in the 11th inning against Walla Walla. And then most of all, Thursday's game with Tanner Jox's inside the park home run that helped send Ridgefield to the playoffs. 1-2 pitch swung on and whiffed by Tyson Corio. And Brock Gillis finishes the frame with a punch out. He struck out 3 today, no hits allowed, and 2 scoreless innings for Brock Gillis. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Ridgefield will bring up Grant Heiser, Brady Casper, and Doyle Kane in a scoreless ball game from the Rourke. Stay with us for the divisional round series continuing bottom of the second after this.
At Clark Public Utilities, we know you depend on electricity every day. And even though our offices remain closed, we're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, by phone, online, and email. The past year has brought changes to many in our community, with lost jobs or reduced working hours, disrupted child care, and the challenge of teaching the kids. If you've been financially impacted by the pandemic and can't pay your utility bill, call us or send an email right away. Eligibility for payment assistance has been expanded so more households may qualify. Through it all, we're always here to provide you with safe and reliable service, and we're ready to help. Clark Public Utilities, ranked highest in customer satisfaction among residential mid-sized utilities in the West by J.D. Power, 13 years in a row. For J.D. Power 2020 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Clark Public Utilities, we're always here.
Playoff baseball continues in Ridgefield. Bottom of the second inning and a scoreless ball game. Grant Heiser to lead off for the Ridgefield Raptors, which is facing the Corvallis Knights for the 7th time this year. All first 6 games finished in relatively close fashion. 6 close games. There was a 5-run margin at one point where Corvallis won a game 7-2. That was the largest margin. And all the other games even closer than that. A couple 2-run ball games. The average was just less than 3 runs by Corvallis winning, although they did win all 6 games as Grant Heiser steps in. And the first pitch of the second inning is a strike from Drew Dowd. Bottom of the second, a 0-0 tie. And Grant Heiser at the plate. So Corvallis went 6-0 against Ridgefield this year. Same mark back in 2019 as the 0-1 pitch in the dirt. So Ridgefield has never beaten Corvallis ever. 2 years of the Ridgefield Raptors baseball, and they have yet to beat Corvallis in any game. And now their first playoff matchup. 1-1 pitch is swung on late by Heiser. 1-2 the count from Drew Dowd, the left-hander from Stanford. Ridgefield playing 2 split series where they had 1 game in Goss and 2 at home in the most recent series, and vice versa in the first series. So this is the 4th one here at this ballpark against Corvallis. The outside pitch from Drew Dowd makes the count 2-2 to Grant Heiser. Will play the next 2 games, well, 1 game and then an if necessary game 3 down at Goss Stadium tomorrow at 6:35, and Monday if necessary also at 6:35. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Drew Dowd out of the windup, and a fastball grounder to second, weakly hit. It's the first baseman moving over. Romero underhands to first, and the pitcher Dowd covers, gets there in time, and forced out at first base. Grant Heiser is down on a ground out, and Brady Casper will be up next. Casper, who went 2 for 9 in that Corvallis series, including a double at Goss Stadium and a pinch hit opportunity in the 9th inning. So Casper playing in his home ballpark there. He plays for Oregon State. His 4th double of the year. He's got 1 triple and 1 home run as well. He walks a lot, got 18 of those on the summer. Left-handed hitter facing left-hand pitcher. Pac-12 matchup, Stanford versus Oregon State. As Casper, the Beaver, takes strike 1. No score, bottom of the second, with 1 down in the frame. Infield playing back. Second baseman Bazana in the outfield turf. 0-1 pitch, a curveball that's fouled back for strike 2. All turf facility at the Rourke, built back in 2019. And it's been a quick turnaround for Ridgefield to open up playing in 2019 and make the playoffs already here in 2021. And congratulations to all the front office staff and owners and all the workers here with the Raptors to see playoff baseball here. 0-2 pitch, a curveball that stays high for ball 1 to Brady Casper. Tony Bonacci playing a big role. I was just talking with the mayor of Ridgefield, Don Stows, today about the genesis of the Raptors, and still remembers the soft sell, as he called it, of Tony Bonacci back in 2018 as they had dinner in downtown Ridgefield. A pitch outside of Brady Casper. It's 2-2. When the idea first came up, how about a baseball team? And how about the West Coast League? And how about right here in Ridgefield? And how about building a ballpark, and all that came together. And this is the second year of Ridgefield Raptor baseball. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Drew Dowd. Into the wind, and a fastball that Casper chases, some chin music that he goes after, and strikes out. 2 down in the second inning. Nobody on for Doyle Kane. The left fielder today, out of College of the Canyons. Right-hand hitter against left-hand pitcher, no score. 2 down and the base is empty for Doyle, who's 6 for 26 on the year. He snapped a 5-game hit streak on Thursday in the finale against Walla Walla, although I'll put an asterisk next to that. I put down a double on his fly ball to right center field that was ruled an error. The coaches all agreed. I think it was a double, but in the box score it goes down as an error E8. But a well-hit ball that got down and put Doyle Kane at second base. So if you want to give him a 6-game hit streak, you can do that. Takes the first pitch for a ball. 1-0 the count, 2 down. Dowd to the plate with a fastball that's hit well to center field. Briley Knight sprinting back. He's going to get to the warning track, and he reaches up. And with his back to the wall, he makes the grab in left center field, running into the fence just next to the batter's eye. And Doyle Kane has the best hit ball of the ball game so far. And it ends in an inning-ending flyout to the center fielder, Briley Knight. 3 up, 3 down for Drew Dowd in the second inning. Both pitchers face the minimum in the second, and still no score. Brock Gillis back to the mound for the Raptors in the top of the third on the other side.
Warmer weather is here, and what better way to enjoy a summer day than with a trip to the ballpark to watch exciting Ridgefield Raptors baseball. Play ball! Don't miss the action on the diamond as the Ridgefield Raptors battle other Western League rivals for the championship. This safe outdoor event is a perfect outing for you and your friends. Peace Health is a proud sponsor of the Ridgefield Raptors, with a team of medical experts on deck to provide your family the care you need. Treat your family to an exciting night at the ballpark and make it part of your healthy, active summer. Peace Health and Ridgefield Raptors baseball, a great double play.
The Ridgefield Raptors are thrilled to reunite with fans and enjoy summer baseball again. Join us for America's favorite pastime. The Raptors are following state guidelines for spectator events and ask for your patience as we prepare for exciting West Coast League play. Please be courteous to our staff, fans, and players as we celebrate the return of your Ridgefield Raptors this summer. Let's make it a great season at the Rourke. Get your tickets now at ridgefieldraptors.com. Go Raptors!
Third inning opens up with Brock Gillis facing Spencer Scott in a scoreless ball game, divisional series, game 1. Yakima Valley and Bellingham facing off in the Northern Division opening round of the playoffs. Here in the Southern Division, it'll be either Corvallis or Ridgefield heading to the playoffs and making the championship series, which would begin 4 days from now. We don't know who would be at home. It depends on who wins as Brock Gillis opens up the third inning, and a foul ball from Spencer Scott. 306 hitter on the summer, an 18-year-old, just graduated high school. He's a Grant General and headed to University of Portland. With 6 doubles, no home runs on the year for the third baseman today, Spencer Scott. Right-hand hitter against right-hand pitcher. No score in this contest, top of the third. No balls and 1 strike from Gillis, who misses with a breaking ball down and away for ball 1. Riley Way is on deck for the Knights. Corvallis has been nothing short of dominant in the West Coast League over the last few years. They've won the divisional round by different methods over the last 4 times. Obviously, they've gotten out of the divisional round each time. They won the championship the last 4 seasons. A roping ground ball through the left side of the infield. And the first base hit off of Brock Gillis today is Spencer Scott's ground ball into left field. A single for Scott. 1 on, nobody out for the Corvallis Knights here in the third inning. Riley Way, the batter. Now, Corvallis won it by different methods. They've swept in the divisional series. They've lost the first game and then won the next 2. They've won on the road and then lost the second game at home and then took game 3. Usually they've been the higher seed, which means they start on the road and then have game 2 and 3 at their ballpark. But they have been the lower seed in one of those occasions and won on the road, went on to win the championship. The last time they lost in the divisional round was 2015, the last time that any team other than Corvallis won the WCL championship. Riley Wade, the batter, shows bunt and places one behind home plate. A foul ball that gets to the netting. Runner on first, nobody out. And Brooke Knight trying to play for a run, get ahead of the Raptors early. And wanting to sack bunt get Spencer Scott into scoring position, but Riley Way unable to put it in fair territory. Nobody out, top of the third. In a scoreless ball game, outfield playing fairly deep, especially in right field, where Riley Way hit a home run at this ballpark in the finale, as Way calls for time and a pickoff move over to first at the same time. And Spencer Scott gets back. Way, who's hitting .226 on the summer, did not have a home run the entire year. And in the final game here at this ballpark, when Ridgefield needed a win to get the tiebreaker over Portland, Riley Way hit a home run to give Corvallis essentially the win. It turned out to be the game-winning wins. It gave Corvallis their first lead late in that ball game. And Ridgefield got some help elsewhere and ended up not needing the tiebreaker over Portland to get into the playoffs, but it seemed that may have dashed the Raptors' hopes. An off-speed pitch from Brock Gillis is high, ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs. Runner on first in the top of the third, with Ridgefield and Corvallis knotted up at 0 runs apiece. They're playing Riley Way a bit towards left field here. The hole is in right center to Riley Way. Not really in double play depth. The second baseman, Mikey Kane, towards the gap. Runners going on the 1-1, hit and run, and it's a grounder into left field. The lead runner will hold at second. Spencer Scott was stealing on the play, and Riley Way singles through the left side of the infield for a base hit. And it'll be runners on first and second with nobody out for the Corvallis Knights. And who's coming up but Travis Bazana. Will probably be the West Coast League MVP this year. If it's not him, I would be surprised to learn who it would be. Bazana setting the West Coast League record, a .429 batting average, which is not only first in West Coast League history, which, by the way, the league's been in existence since 2005, but it's not even close how far ahead he's at. First pitch to Bazana. He bunts down the first baseline. Lovings picks it up. He's going to try to tag him, and he drops the ball, and Bazana's going to be safe. Bases are loaded. Lovings tried to tag him and lost the ball as he was tagging. Bazana didn't realize it, turned around, and then saw the ball coming loose, and Bazana's into first base. Whether or not he ran out of the baseline or some other antics, Chris Cotto will like to talk with Tim Heigl about it. And Bazana was trying to elude Lovings, and Lovings had to reach out and lost the ball as he reached out to get Travis Bazana. Bazana checked and says, "Are you good?" as Lovings went to the turf trying to tag Travis Bazana. And we'll see if Tim Heigl talks with his fellow umpires or makes any change, and Heigl's not going to ask for help. It'll be an error on the first baseman, Lovings. The bases are loaded, nobody out, with Bazana bunting, and it bunted nearly all the way to first base. And Isaac Lovings could have went back to first, but wanted to tag and make sure the other runners didn't advance. Nobody out, bases juiced for Briley Knight, who checks his swing. It's a called strike. So that puts Bazana on first, Spencer Scott to third, Riley Way to second. 2 singles and an error, nobody out. Infield shifts to the right side. Tanner Jocks playing behind second base. Mikey Kane in the hole as Knight slices one down the third base side and foul into the concourse here at the work. No balls and 2 strikes, top of the third inning with nobody out. And Corvallis threatening to strike first here in the third inning. Briley Knight, who flew out to right field on his first at-bat. A 22-year-old out of University of Portland. Trying to work a little more magic here for the Knights. 0-2 pitch, changeup, or fastball, high for ball 1. 1-2 count. Knight at the plate. Nick Vogt on deck. Brock Gillis working out of the stretch after the 2 singles. Both of them ground balls to the left side, and then a bunt that could have been 1 out. 1-2 pitch, a check swing. Did he go? No. And I don't know why they didn't ask the first base umpire. I think they're still getting used to the 3-man crew. They asked Rivera, who said no swing. Mike Carr should have been the one. Well, I guess that Rivera's closer to it, because since he's on the third base side. But still getting used to the 3-man crew. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Briley Knight grounds one away, foul. And with nobody out, it's a 2-2 count, top of the third. No score in this ball game. With Briley Knight at the plate, starting in center field today, already made a nice catch at the wall last inning, and now trying to do some damage at the plate and get the first runs on the board today. Here's the 2-2 to Briley Knight. It is a fastball just off the dish, and now to full count with the bases loaded. Nobody out for the Knights. Briley Knight at the plate, the 2019 West Coast League MVP, Had 8 home runs that year. Left-hand hitter waiting for Brock Gillis, who comes set. The payoff fastball, that is outside, ball 4. And the Corvallis Knights have scored the first run of this ball game. An RBI walk for Briley Knight. That scores Spencer Scott. Riley Way to third, Travis Bazana to second. It's still bases loaded, nobody out. And Nick Vogt will be the batter. So Brock Gillis, after 2 singles and an error, walks the next man. And Vogt, who's hitting .351 on the year, which is pretty darn good, but still about 70 points behind, almost 80 behind Travis Bazana, who is standing on second base now. Vogt, a right-handed batter out of UC Santa Barbara. Takes the first pitch from Gillis and slices it down the right field line, tailing foul and landing foul by about 2 yards. And 0-1 the count to Nick Vogt. As each runner returns, it could have been down for extra bases had it been just a few paces to the left. But Vogt got under it and sliced it down the line. He's 4 for 18 against Ridgefield this summer. A triple, a double, and so far 0 for 1 today with a punch-out. Here's the 0-1 to Vogt. Off speed at the knees, strike 2. Brock Gillis had not allowed a hit through the first 2 innings. 2 ground ball singles to start it out. In this frame, still bases loaded, nobody out. A 1-0 lead for the Corvallis Knights in the 3rd inning. Nick Vogt shows the barrel a couple times and then puts the bat over his shoulder. Brock Gillis to the plate with the 0-2. And it's outside, 1-2 the count. Nick Vogt struck out. First strikeout of the day for Brock Gillis back in the 1st inning as Gilly walked the first man he saw today and stranded that runner, Bazana, at second, punching out 2 in a row to end the frame. That's a 1-2 count now, and a fastball grounder to the left side. Tanner Jocks can't get there. It bounces into left field. It'll score at least 1. They'll hold Bazana at third, and the bases will remain loaded with nobody out. An RBI single for Nick Vogt, and it's a 2-0 ball game. That scores Riley Way, and Bazana held at third. Briley Knight into second, and Nick Vogt to first after his RBI base hit. It's a 2-run inning and still nobody out. Bases loaded. Kiko Romero will be the batter. Already the 6th hitter to come to the bat for the Corvallis Knights this inning. Brock Gillis from the stretch and a fastball swing and a miss from Romero, who struck out to end the 1st inning. Now 3 for 18 against the Raptors this summer. No extra base hits. He's from Tucson, Arizona. Plays for Central Arizona College. Outfield playing off the lines to Kiko Romero, left-hand hitter. The 0-1 pitch is down and in, and snagged by Grant Heiser. 1-1 the count from Brock Gillis. His brother Brett Gillis on the roster with the Corvallis Knights. 2 Gillises facing against each other in the divisional round to open up the playoffs here in 2021. Corvallis winning the first half and the second half. Ridgefield the second best overall record in the league via a tiebreaker. A bouncer in the dirt from Gillis. It's 2-1 to Kiko Romero. On deck is Tanner Smith. With nobody out yet, Romero a .236 hitter on the summer, with 3 home runs on the year and 22 runs batted in. Playing fairly deep in the outfield. Wind is blowing somewhat heavily to right field. The 2-1 pitch, fastball lifted to deep right center field. This one's going to carry all the way out for a grand slam. Kiko Romero, not just the first grand slam of any Ridgefield Raptors game for or against them, and it breaks the game open in the 3rd inning. Romero over the .360 mark in right center field. It puts the Corvallis Knights up 6-0. Scores Nick Vogt. It scores Briley Knight. It scores Travis Bazana, and still nobody out in the inning as Romero got a hold of one to right center field. 427 feet on the home run that got well over the right center wall. It's 360 to the alleys here at the work. And that one cleared the fence and traveled another 67 feet over the wall to the grassy berm towards Hillhurst Road. And it's the Corvallis Knights 6 and the Ridgefield Raptors 0. Daniel Barato, the pitching coach, out to talk with Brock Gillis. And the Knights jumping out ahead by a 6-run margin. It's a best-of-3 series. No matter the result here, Ridgefield will head down to Corvallis tomorrow for a 6:35 start. And then if the two teams split the first two games, they'll have a 6:35 start Monday, also at Goss Stadium. The next batter is Tanner Smith. Bases empty, nobody out. Start a new inning here, and Tanner leads off the new frame with a base hit to left field. Lines it right in front of Doyle Kane. And it's a no-out single as the Corvallis Knights still have nobody out here in this inning. Gillis could have had one out earlier, a bunt down the first baseline fielded by Lovings, and then lost the ball on the tag, and that resulted in a run as Bazana ended up scoring on the frame. Tanner Smith a single as the Knights have 5 hits on the inning now. Their first 5 hits against Gillis today. Bunting is Kyler Stancato down the third baseline. Brooks Dyer will throw, and in time to get Kyler Stancato on as close of a play as you can get, and Lovings with the lean gets the out. A sac bunt results in the first out of the frame, and Brooks Dyer, who's a heck of a fielder on bunts, made one tremendous play to save a run down against Corvallis at Goss Stadium and the series a week ago, and makes another nice play running in and had to rifle that one to first to just barely edge out Kyler Stancato. It does move Tanner Smith into second base. One down, a 6-0 lead for the Knights in the third inning. Ninth batter to come up to the plate, it's Tyson Corio. Ground ball to second on the first pitch, handled by Mikey Kane on a sliding stop. He throws to first in time to get Corio, and it does move the runner to third. Tanner Smith 90 more feet, but there are 2 outs now as Spencer Scott will come to the plate for the second time this inning. He began this frame with a single on a ground ball to left field about 15 minutes ago. Came around to score on a walk by Briley Knight, then an RBI single for Nick Vogt, and then a grand slam for Kiko Romero. 2 outs, and Spencer Scott watches ball 1 from Brock Gillis. Velocity has not dropped. He's in 93, but has given up a 6 spot here. One of them unearned, and any more runs allowed would be unearned. 1-0 pitch from Brock Gillis, a fastball hit into center field, and there will be an unearned run off of Brock Gillis. It'll score Tanner Smith, and that is an RBI single for Spencer Scott, who singles twice in the same inning. The second one for a run batted in, and the Corvallis Knights have put up 7 runs here in the third inning. Riley Way is the batter, with a runner on first and 2 down, top of the third inning. Brock Gillis comes set out of the stretch. Nobody throwing in the Ridgefield bullpen. Fastball hit foul. And now Parker Goen is jogging out to the pen. No balls and 1 strike, top of the third inning. Ridgefield giving up 7 runs here in this frame. Big lead off from first base for Spencer Scott. Riley Way, the batter, right-hand hitter. Wind blowing out to right field, and a breaking ball in for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike from Brock Gillis. Could use a big offensive breakout next inning. Ridgefield will bring up to the bat Brooks Dyer, Quadrice Teague, and Tanner Jocks. Here's the 1-1. It's hit high in the air, but not deep into left field. Quadrice Teague, the center fielder, moving in, and he makes a jogging catch in shallow center field. And the inning does finally come to a close. Corvallis puts up 6 hits on the board and 7 runs in the third inning, and take a big lead over the Ridgefield Raptors as we head to the bottom of the third inning in Game 1 of the divisional series, as the Raptors try to start the comeback trail here at the Rourke.
Baseball is back, and Peace Health is excited to once again sponsor the Ridgefield Raptors as they vie for the West Coast League title. Raptors games make a great family outing. Bring the whole crew to the ballpark to enjoy a safe, fun outdoor event featuring the thrills of Raptors baseball. As the largest health provider in Clark County, Peace Health is ready to step up to the plate and keep your family in the game, whether it's a routine appointment or specialty emergency care. Peace Health and the Ridgefield Raptors, 2 great teams.
The Ridgefield Raptors are back, where the entire family can watch top-level college baseball players live at the Rourke. Now, kids 12 and under get in free with a paid adult for all Sunday afternoon Raptors games. Enjoy local Southwest Washington baseball with the whole family this summer. Sunday games are at 105 and are presented by Peace Health and the Columbian. Come cheer on your Ridgefield Raptors all season long. Get your tickets now at ridgefieldraptors.com. Go Raptors!
Brooks Dyer will lead off for the Ridgefield Raptors in the bottom of the third inning. Here in game one of the divisional series, Corvallis striking first and striking hard, 7 runs as Brooks Dyer loops one towards second base and Travis Bizzana takes a few steps back and makes the catch for out number 1. 1 pitch and 1 out for Brooks Dyer. Pops out to the second baseman, and Quadrice Teague will get his first at-bat of the day. A guy who just joined the team about a week ago, played for the Northwest Star Academy Nighthawks this summer, and against Ridgefield. The Raptors playing 3 games against the Nighthawks this year, and Quadrice Teague now playing for the Raptors. With 1 out, Teague takes a ball down and away from Drew Dowd. 7-0, Corvallis scoring all 7 of their runs in the top of this inning in the third, including a grand slam by Kiko Romero. 1-0 pitch to Teague is a ball 2-0. Teague has had just 2 plate appearances as a Raptor coming into today. One of them a fly out to left field, the other an RBI walk. Had the bases loaded in that Walla Walla game when Ridgefield scored 15 runs. 2-0 pitch is under the hands, strike 1 on Quadrice Teague. 2-1 the count. He's from Lower Columbia College and transferred to Clark College. Has a 2-1 now and a fastball that he takes a swing at and fouls it back. And it's 2-2 to Quadrice, who's from Vancouver, went to Hudson's Bay High School, an all-league player in football and baseball and basketball, playing for the Eagles of Hudson's Bay High, and now playing his 6th game as a Raptor this summer. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Quadrice Teague. Tanner Jocks is on deck. Here's the 2-2. It's high on the fastball by Drew Dowd. Full count to Quadrice. Quaddy starting in center field today. Left-hand hitter against left-hand pitcher. Here is the payoff from Dowd. It's high for ball 4 to Quadrice. And he's the first base runner of this inning. Tanner Jocks will come up. 1 out and a runner on first. Tanner had 2 down and a runner on first. Doyle Kane was the runner when he came up to the plate in the third inning in the finale against Walla Walla. Ridgefield needing a win to stay in playoff contention and just could not get anything going offensively in game 2 or 3 of that series. Just 3 hits in both of those games. Got shut out in game 2. And had not scored in game 3 to that point when Tanner came to the plate. And he lines the first pitch into right center field. It's going to land for a base hit. Quadrice Teague will take a turn around second and hold. Briley Knight plays it on a bounce. And a 1-out base hit for Tanner Jocks. Mikey Kane, the batter. That moves Teague to second. 1 down, a 7-0 deficit. So Jocks on first base. He looped a ball down the right field line that the right fielder for Walla Walla, Nation Wood, wanted to make a shoestring catch on if he could, and got there a step late, and so the ball bounced in front of him, but he stayed on his feet and had his momentum running towards the wall. So he's running perpendicular to the right field line, and the ball landing just barely in fair territory, kept on going down the line and out of view in the right field corner, but stayed in play as Mikey Kane swings at the first offering and hits it foul. 1 down, runners in first and second for the Raptors, bottom of the third, an 0-1 count. So the right fielder kept on running towards the wall along the right field line, not the home run fence. I'm talking the wall along the foul line, which is only a few feet beyond the right field line. There's not much foul territory by that part down the right field corner. So he had his momentum going full bore and just ran right into the fence, which is a short fence, so he tumbled over it. The 0-1 to Mikey Kane, a breaking ball that misses high, 1-1. And according to the relievers that I talked with for Ridgefield, which are right there, the bullpen is unobstructed down in foul territory. So he basically ran into the bullpen for Ridgefield and fell over the relievers and kind of toppled over Ben Larson, who I was talking with earlier today. And he said he got stuck, the right fielder, apparently his jersey or his belt or something, and was unable to get back to the ball, and Tanner rounded the bases for a home run. A grounder to the third base side, fielded by Scott, throws to second for the out, and the throw at high into the netting, and Quadrice Teague's going to sprint home, and he scores with a head-first dive, and the Raptors are on the board. Travis Bizzana airmails a throw from second on a potential double play ball. Mikey Kane had good speed and probably would have beat it out anyways. It goes down as a fielder's choice and an error on the second baseman. And Quadrice Teague scores originally from second, got to third on the ground ball, and then scored on the throw that just came out of the hand wrong. It looked like a Bizzana. It went a good 10, 20 feet high on the netting and just probably came off his fingers all wrong. And the first error of the day for the Corvallis Knights, 2 of the top fielding teams in the league. Their second and third fewest errors. Corvallis second fewest, Ridgefield right behind, but Now both teams have an error on the day. 7-1 is the score now. Corvallis on top. As a fastball with some sinking action drops in for strike one to Isaac Lovings. 0-1 the count, 2 down. After the fielder's choice got the out at second, Mikey Kane will not get an RBI credited to him, but does get a run home. Tanner Jocks was forced out at second. An off-speed pitch that Lovings looks for, swings and does not find. 0-2. In the bottom of the third inning, Corvallis scoring all 7 of their runs in the top half of this inning. Ridgefield scoring its first run in the home half of the third. Lovings in a second at-bat today. He's 0 for 1. The 0-2 pitch, a curveball, falls into the zone for strike 3. And Drew Dowd gets out of it after a run comes home on an error, and Ridgefield is on the board after a single for Tanner Jocks helped things out. Quadrice Teague got it started with a walk, and he does come home. So after scoring 7, the Corvallis Knights do allow a run. Ridgefield starts out the comeback trail relatively well. After all, they still have 7 innings to go coming into this frame and scored 1 run. So they're on pace, right? They get 1 on the board. It's 7-1, the Corvallis Knights leading into the top of the 4th inning. Brock Gillis back to the mound.
Dick Hanna Dealerships is proud to welcome everyone back to support our Ridgefield Raptors. Just in time for warm summer nights with family and friends, lounging on the lawn, or eating dogs in the stands. Feels good to be back. In business for over 70 years, Dick Hanna Dealerships is a local, family-owned business with locations in Vancouver, Kelso, and Portland. Choose from thousands of cars and 12 new car brands. Experience nice in the car business. Dick Hanna Dealerships. Believe in nice. Now play ball.
Oh, I love family road trips. Wind in my ears.
Good job.
Treats in my mouth. And peace of mind, knowing Les Schwab did our tires, brakes, and alignment. Like Les Schwab, my family's safety is my first priority. Well, that and squeaky toys.
Les Schwab Tires, proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row. For J.D. Power 2021 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Brock Gillis back to the mound through 3 innings of the Ridgefield Outdoor Recreation Complex. The Corvallis Knights 7 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. And the Ridgefield Raptors 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error. And Brock Gillis opens the 4th inning with a strike. His team down 7-1. And Travis Bazzana will lead off an inning for the second time today. He led off in the top of the first with a walk, did not score. And then got aboard via an error in the 3rd inning and did score. And fouls went away. It's 0-2 to Travis Bazzana. Mentioned last at bat how his batting average broke the West Coast League record and wasn't even close. I didn't mention the previous record. He's hitting .429. The previous mark was .409. He broke it by 20 points. The 0-2 pitch is hit hard towards short and into left field, right over Tanner Jocks' head. And a base hit for Travis Bazzana. His first hit of the day. He came in with 81 base hits on the summer, which is 18 more hits than anybody else had in the league, and almost twice as many as any teammate. And he's on first with a leadoff base hit. 7-1 lead for the Corvallis Knights. Briley Knight is the batter. An RBI walk in his most recent plate appearance. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out to right field. Runner on first, nobody down. And Bazzana, who already has a stolen base today, is tossed back to first on a pickoff attempt from Brock Gillis. Bazzana stole on the first pitch to Briley Knight back in the 1st inning after a pickoff attempt his way. Similarly, has a pickoff attempt, and this time is not stealing, although an aggressive lead from first and a called ball to Briley Knight. 1-0 is the count. Nobody out, top of the 4th. It's Corvallis 7 and Ridgefield 1. Corvallis, the better seed here, is Bazzana stealing even before the offering, and Heiser will throw down to second. But Bazzana had just a ridiculously good break, started running before Gillis came to the plate, and he was already halfway to second by the time Gillis released the ball. And Travis Bazzana with his 2nd stolen base on the day. Oregon State is lucky to have this guy. They'll have him for his freshman season this upcoming year. 7-1 lead for the Corvallis Knights. Briley Knight at the plate. From Corvallis, a hometown kid playing for the Corvallis Knights. Played at Crescent Valley High. Went on to Salt Lake City to play for the Utes and then transferred back to the Beaver State to play for Portland. Ropes a fly ball to right field. It'll carry all the way to the wall, but foul to the right side of the foul pole and landed just in front of the fence. Or did it get over the fence? Either way, it's a foul ball. And Briley Knight, a hard hit liner down the line. It makes it a 2-1 count. And Travis Bizzano will have to return to second, excuse me. He stole second and goes back. Nobody out, top of the fourth. 2 balls and 1 strike to Briley Knight. Left-hand hitter facing Brock Gillis for the third time. Briley Knight, the 5'9", 180-pound junior at University of Portland, is the starting center fielder today as Brock Gillis checks Travis Bizzana. Worried about Bizzana, who is capable of stealing third, has done it before against Ridgefield, and is at second with a good-sized lead for the Knights, who are ahead 7-1 through the first third of this game. And he's again taking a big lead against Gillis dancing around. 2-1 pitch is off the plate. And a check swing from Knight did not go around. 3-1 is the count to Briley Knight. His father, Brooke Knight, looking on from the third base coaching box, the skipper for Corvallis. The outfield playing him fairly deep. Straight away in center field, and Brady Casper pretty deep in right field. 3-1 pitch. He pops up to left field. Doyle Kane running in. The left fielder has a long run, loses the cap, and makes a grab at hip level. Had to reach down as he ran around the ball and reached out with the left hand, his glove hand, and made the catch in left field. For out number 1, Briley Knight is retired. And Nick Vogt, the batter, with Travis Bizzana holding at second. Top of the fourth inning, a 6-run advantage for the Corvallis Knights. And Nick Vogt, the designated hitter today at UC Santa Barbara, an RBI single and a strikeout so far on the day for Nick, who turned 21 years old 10 days ago. And now takes a ball low from Brock Gillis. 1-0 the count, 1 down, runner on second. Gillis, who started against Corvallis back on August 6th against the Knights in Goss Stadium, drove down that day from Portland, staying with his brother Brett Gillis, who lives in Portland but plays for the Corvallis Knights. 1-0 pitches swung on and missed by Vogt. 1-1 the count. So they faced off against each other in opposite bullpens, as Brett Gillis was hot that day. He was ready to come in as a reliever and did come in the top of the 7th inning, and Brock Gillis was the starter and came back out for the bottom of the 7th. So at one point, both Gillis brothers were the respective active pitchers in that ball game, as the 1-1 pitch is chased by Vogt, and Heiser can't find it. Now Bizzana's going to run to third, and Heiser finally locates the ball in the batter's box, didn't know where it was, and he also is a bit shaken up on the play, and Bizzana gets 90 feet out of it, and Heiser is going to go down to a crouch. He got beat up a bit in the Walla Walla series, got hit by a couple times as a catcher, and not to mention when he was a hitter, he got hit by a pitch on the foot. It turned out to be the winning run on Thursday that sent Ridgefield to the playoffs, as Heiser was hit by a pitch, came around to score later that inning, and Ridgefield won it in extra innings. And I asked Heiser, now that you know that was the winning run, are you okay with that? He says, yes, I'm glad, but it still hurt. And Heiser is again in pain here, and it's unfortunate for Grant Heiser. Catcher's just a tough position to play. And Grant, it was a swinging miss from Vogt. Obviously it wasn't a foul ball because it was a live ball, according to the home plate umpire, Tim Heigl. And Heiser is still crouching over. And I hope he's okay. There's a runner on third, 1 out for the Knights. Top of the 4th inning. They lead 7-1. And Grant Heiser will be able to continue, which is good to see. He's a nice kid, good ball player, and a tough kid. Got to be tough to play catcher. And Grant Heiser is going to keep on going. It's a 1-2 count to Nick Vogt. 1 down. And Heiser still smarting a little bit, goes back into his crouch. Travis Bizzana, the runner from third, with 1 down. So Nick Vogt back to the box, 1-2 from Brock Gillis from the stretch. And the 1-2 pitch hit foul down the right field line into the grassy berm down the right field territory. 1-2 remains the count. So Brock Gillis was starting against Corvallis that day and had only given up 1 run through the first 6 innings. As the infield moves in for the Raptors, by the way, 1-2 the count. with all four infielders about even with the bag. Furthest back is the third baseman, Dyer. 1-2 pitch is a liner up the middle, a ground ball single. And that's an RBI for Nick Vogt, who has RBI base hits his last 2 innings. And that scores Travis Bazana, who led this inning off with a single. And he ends up scoring to make it 8-1. And Chris Cote is going to come out and talk with Brock Gillis and perhaps pull him. Parker Goen is out in the bullpen, and there might be one other guy out there as well. First mound visit of the inning for Brock Gillis. He went into the 7th inning against Corvallis with a 2-1 lead. Had the first 2 guys out. So his 7th inning, 2 down, nobody on. Then had a full count to the next guy, walked him, then a bloop single. And then he left the game with 2 runners on. And that is going to be it for Brock Gillis here in this contest. He exits in the 4th inning. Hard work for Brock Gillis. He's facing the best team in the league here and does give up 8 runs so far. 6 of them earned. It's going to be Parker Goen coming in. Out of Pierce College with 1 down and a runner on first and an 8-1 deficit for the Raptors. So Brock Gillis exits just like he did in the 7th inning against Corvallis 8 days ago. Both of those runners he was responsible for ended up coming home, so he gave up 3 runs as charged to him. Now, the 2 of them came in after he left the game, and that made it Corvallis 3, Ridgefield 2, which meant he was on the hook for the loss since he gave up the go-ahead run to Corvallis, even though it scored after he left the game. And since Brett Gillis was the pitcher for the Corvallis Knights at that time, it went from Brock Gillis being in position for the win to all of a sudden Brock being in position for the loss, and his brother was slated as the winner, and that's how the score held. Corvallis stayed in front, and so the winning pitcher on the day was Brock Gillis, and the winning pitcher was Brett Gillis. The loser was Brock Gillis, and what a car ride that must have been back up to Portland as they drove back together. Both pitchers of record in that same game in the same car. Brock told me later his older brother, there's another brother, Bryce, made a joke afterwards saying after Corvallis tweeted out the final score, I forget what social media platform it was, and Bryce remarked, winning pitcher B. Gillis, losing pitcher B. Gillis. And the third, oldest B. Gillis was the one to make the joke, and it was a good day for Gillis fans. I mean, even the losing pitcher had pitched really well that day. Brock is hit around a little bit today. Corvallis gets 6 earned off of him, and Parker Goen will come in for the Ridgefield Raptors in the top of the 4th inning. Corvallis already scoring 1 this frame to go ahead 8-1. Goen will come in. He's already started a game against Corvallis on the year. He just joined the team late in July, has pitched in 3 games, and has an ERA of 11.57 on the year. Small sample size. He got hit around by Corvallis a week ago and suffered the loss. The starting pitcher gave up 5 earned in that game. He had given up just 1 earned run before that. And so he's gone just under 5 innings on the year and gets some more opportunity on the mound for the Raptors in the top of the 4th. He will be facing the middle of the order, Kiko Romero, the batter. So Brock Gillis, after giving up a grand slam to Romero, will not have a chance of redemption against Kiko. Romero back to the plate, and he'll be the first one to face Parker Goen in the top of the 4th. 1 down, runner on first. It's Corvallis ahead, 8-1. Parker Goen, the right-hander out of Maple Valley, Washington, tosses in a first pitch strike to Kiko Romero. Launched at 427 feet on the home run to right center field when the bases were loaded to make it 6-0 at that point. And a pitch off the plate. The runner's going, and the throw is in time. Slapped it on the batting helmet. Tanner Jocks applies the tag, and Grant Heiser guns out Nick Vogt. After his RBI single, he's caught stealing, and that is the second out of the frame. The bases are empty. So Parker Goen has now officially gone a third of an inning, and Romero stays at the plate. 0-1 the count to Kiko, and a grounder down the first baseline, and it's a fair ball bounced over the bag into the corner. Romero digs for second, and Brady Casper misplayed the ball. He's going to go for third. Casper finally gets it in, and Romero stands up into third with a double and an error on the right fielder, and he's into third base. And now the Knights are threatening again in the 4th inning. It's 8-1 Knights, 2 down. And Tanner Smith, the batter, with Kiko Romero at third. Smith, who's 1 for 2 on the day, so a ball that was just barely fair down the first baseline. And it goes for extra bases, a called strike on Tanner Smith. He singled last inning in the third. And has an 0-1 count now from Parker going, and the next pitch is down and away from Parker. 1-1 the count, 2 down. Corvallis scoring 1 run this inning to cancel out the Raptors' run from the bottom of the third. And now in the top of the fourth, it's back to a 7-run margin, and Corvallis trying to stretch it out even further if they can get Romero home. The 1-1 pitch is spiked for ball 2 from Parker going. 2 balls and 1 strike to Tanner Smith, who's out of Chandler, Arizona, is now on a 5-game hit streak that started against Ridgefield. He's 7 for 20 against the Raptors with a home run. 2-1 pitch, he ropes down the third baseline, foul. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 down to Tanner Smith. Incoming freshman at Oregon State. He'll turn 19 when he's taking his first classes at OSU. He turns 19 in September. And he'll be able to stay in Corvallis after finishing out the divisional series at Goss Stadium. And the Corvallis Knights hope they'll be headed to the championship. Who they'll face will be determined between Yakima Valley and Bellingham. A breaking ball high, and it's 3-2. Full count, 2 down, runner on third for the Knights, who are ahead by 7. Tanner Smith, the catcher today, who flew out to right field in the second inning and then singled in the third. A payoff pitch is fouled back by Tanner Smith, and it remains a full count to the right-hand hitter. Who checks in at 6'1", 215 pounds. Out of Darryl Garrettson territory in Chandler, Arizona. They're playing him towards left field a bit. Quadrice Teague, the center fielder, shaded towards left with the payoff pitch upcoming. A check swing. It was high and outside. No swing. And Tanner Smith walks. It'll bring up Kyler Stancato. Runners on the corners now for the Knights. 2 down. And Stancato, who had a sac bunt in the third inning and a fly out to left field earlier. He's 0 for 1. Also from Arizona, he's from Glendale and plays for Washington State. A 6'3", 195-pounder at the dish to face Parker going for the first time today. Going from the stretch and a fastball outside. Ball 1 to Kyler Stancato, left-hand hitter. He's the right fielder today, hitting .246 on the summer. As the wind blowing in his favor, if he pulls the ball to right field, it'll be with the wind, although it's not blowing heavily right now. Runners on the edges, corner infielders even with the bag for the Raptors. The 1-0 is lined up the middle for a base hit and an RBI for Stancato. It scores Romero from third. And the middle runner, Tanner Smith, into second. An RBI base hit for Kyler Stancato. It's 9-1 Knights in the top of the fourth. It'll bring up Tyson Corio as the Knights have now brought up 18 batters to the plate just between the third and the fourth innings. They batted around the order plus a couple in the third. Tyson Corio is the 7th batter of this inning. He's 0 for 2 in the day, a strikeout and a ground out. He's got 2 aboard and 2 down. Parker going, stretches and deals a fastball that gets through the barrel of Tyson Corio, 0-1 for the Cal Poly outfielder playing in left field today. A utility player to play all around. He's from Concord, California. Is 2 for 12 against Ridgefield this year. As an 0-1 count, Spencer Scott in the on-deck circle. The next pitch is down. It gets by Heiser to the backstop, and it will move both runners up 90 feet. Stancato into second on what I'll put down as a pass ball, double check, but gets past Heiser. 0-1, or 1-1 the count with 2 down. They have given Romero a triple, it looks like. I had written down double and an error, but called a triple for Romero earlier. He came around to score on the singles. The next pitch misses from going. 2-1 the count. So Kiko Romero got his 3rd triple on the summer and then scored. It's 9-1 Knights in the series opener. Game 2 will be tomorrow at Goss Stadium at 6:35. The 2-1 pitch, a fastball hit back for strike 2. 2-2 the count from Tyson Corio. to Tyson Corio from Parker Goen. First reliever of the day for Ridgefield. Outfield playing straight up to Corio, who's from San Joaquin Delta College, transferred to Cal Poly. Off-speed high for ball 3, full count. First base is open. Spencer Scott, who came to the plate twice last inning, could get his first at-bat this inning if Corio reaches. Full count, 2 down, 2 in scoring position for the Knights. Trying to get to double digits in this game. The fastball is popped up into shallow center field. No man's land. Jocks going out. It's Quadri's Teague with the wheels coming in. And Parker Goen strands 2 in scoring position. Tyson Corio flies out. And Corvallis is held to 2 runs on the frame on 4 hits in the inning. They're up to 10 hits on the day. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's the Ridgefield Raptors 1 and the Corvallis Knights 9.
Found a giant spider in my bed.
Stepped outside and a hornet stung my head.
Got ants around my sink,
and I am starting to think the experts that I know are gonna make me pest-free.
Natura Pest Control, killing your bugs and rodents, baby. Natura Pest Control. Call today, get a quote for free.
Hey baseball fans, after the game visit A, the area's premier gaming, dining, entertainment, and meeting destination. A is a proud supporter of the Ridgefield Raptors and the perfect place to meet up with friends after a Raptors win for dinner, drinks, and great times. Keep the fun and excitement going after the 9th inning and grab beers at Tom's Urban. Or enjoy a perfectly cooked porterhouse at Michael Jordan's Steakhouse. With 100,000 square feet of gaming space, 15 different restaurants, bars, and retail outlets to choose from, A has just what you need to turn your night at the ballgame into a night you won't forget. A, just off I-5 at exit 16, ILANIresort.com.
Bottom of the 4th inning with the Ridgefield Raptors coming to the plate to face Drew Dowd for a 4th time. And it'll be Will Chambers to the plate. So lead off the bottom of the 4th. Ridgefield trailing big here as Chambers flies one into right field. He gets down for a base hit. And Will Chambers aboard for a single. Ridgefield is trailing 9-1 in this game, but Chambers starts out the bottom of the 4th in good fashion. A single to right field. On the first pitch of the bottom of the 4th, and Grant Heiser will be the batter. Now to Camus Washington. He's to the plate. Ridgefield trailing by 8. Bottom of the 4th. And Will Chambers, the runner at first on a first pitch single. And Heiser comes up to face Drew Dowd, the left-hander from Stanford. And a breaking ball high for ball 1 to Grant Heiser. Spent the off day well. There aren't all that many off days in the West Coast League. Ridgefield never did have back-to-back off days on the summer. All Mondays were off, and the occasional Thursday or Friday. When you got them, you might as well use them well. And Grant Heiser, an avid mountain biker, went mountain biking yesterday on Large Mountain. Takes a ball outside, 2-0 the count to Grant. Nobody out, runner on first. Heiser took along with him Dylan Jester, one of the other players on the Raptors, and went mountain biking with him. 2-0 pitch, a fastball. He skims back for strike 1. Heiser, the more experienced of the two, was more familiar with the mountain, but he says Jester held well. Dylan is not as experienced, but has some mountain biking in his background. Just hadn't been for a long time and had a bit of a bruise. Went over the handlebars on one occasion, but Jester was okay. And a fun afternoon yesterday on Large Mountain for Heiser and Jester, 2 catchers on this roster. Dowd throws over to first to get Chambers back, who will not be stealing here. He technically does have 1 stolen base on the year, but it was on a first and third when he just hung around in between the base paths and had no throw and eventually took second. That was his 1 stolen base on the year. Who knows? Maybe he'll get another. But there's no runner on third. Heiser takes a strike. It's 2-2. Bottom of the 4th inning. It's Corvallis 9, Ridgefield 1. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Drew Dowd From the stretch, a fastball grounded toward short on the third hop, fielded by Riley Way to Bazana. The throw on to first is not in front of Grant Heiser. He's safe at first. And a fielder's choice, 6-4 on the play. And Heiser safe, Will Chambers forced out. And Brady Casper will be the hitter. 1 on, 1 out, 8-run margin. Ridgefield trying to come back here in game 1 of the divisional series. First playoff game in Raptors history. Second year of the team. And a lot of firsts for Ridgefield. Obviously, 2 years in, you can have a lot of records broken in just the second year as a ball club, which some may say lessens the importance of those single-season records and so forth, or single-game records, which to a certain degree is true. But after all, somebody's got to break the records as Casper fouls one back into the glove, a foul tip, 0-1 the count. Not to mention some of the records, even if they are only in the second year, may hold for a while, and there's 1 or 2 that come to mind for Ridgefield. And first playoff berth as well, which you're going to have one at some point, and it's momentous to happen just in the second year. As far as single game records, as Casper takes a pitch high, 1-1. 1 out, 1 on, Ridgefield trailing by 8 in the 4th inning. Caden Connor went 6 for 6 in a game earlier this summer. That one might hold for a long time. As most hits in a game, Casper hits one foul. It's 1-2. Connor also with 51 RBIs on the year, which a lot of those single season records you think might get broken soon because the West Coast League just coming back from not playing due to COVID last summer and managed to put together a 48-game schedule to shorten it a bit. Usually it's 54, 6 games more. So most of those single season records you think wouldn't hold because there's fewer games, as Casper again hits one foul, 1-2. But here's the thing, Caden Connor had 51 RBIs, which is 1 more than 2019 in Ridgefield's first year. That set the record, but that also ties the West Coast League record from any year. 51 RBIs is tied for first. So Caden Connor's franchise record might hold for a while because nobody's ever had more than that, not just for Ridgefield, but in the WCL any year in the 16 years of West Coast League baseball since 05. A ball high to Brady Casper. It's 2-2. Runner on first, 1 down, bottom of the 4th. Ridgefield trailing by an 8 spot. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Brady Casper from Drew down. Fastball low, ball 3. Tanner Smith tried to frame it back up into the zone, but Tim Heigl was not fooled. Full count to Brady Casper. 0 for 1 on the day. He's 2 for 10 against Corvallis on the summer. This inning started with a single for Will Chambers, who is the league leader in home runs, although he did not set the team record. Here's the payoff to Casper. It's low for ball 4. And now 2 runners aboard for the Raptors after a walk by Brady Casper. And that pushes Grant Heiser to second. Doyle Kane is the batter. Michael Hicks had those 50 RBIs and 9 home runs in 2019 to be the first record holder in single season history for Ridgefield, in the first year after all, with 9 homers. He didn't lead the league. And Will Chambers had 1 fewer this year, but did lead the league. And it varies. Usually the league leader in the West Coast League hovers around 10 or so. Sometimes it's 8, 9. Last year was 12 was the league leader. This year it's 8 in a shorter season. Doyle Kane will be the batter. A mound visit from the catcher as Tanner Smith jogs out to chat with Drew Dowd. Runners in first and second, 1 down, bottom of the 4th. 8-run lead for the Corvallis Knights. Doyle Kane, the hitter, who flew out to center field, deep center field, hit that ball 360 feet. But it died at the track, and Briley Knight made a catch, bumping up against the wall to end the second inning when it was still a scoreless tie. Here's the first pitch to Doyle Kane. He hits one well also to right center field. It'll carry to the wall and over the wall into right center and into the grassy berm. Doyle Kane has his first home run of the year. It's a 3-run bomb for the College of the Canyon Slugger. It's 9-4. His first extra base hit of the summer, and it's a 3-run dinger to right center field. Over the 360 mark down the power alley, and Doyle Kane takes an Oppo taco. It may not be a Tuesday, but it's Taco Tuesday. And Doyle Kane homers. It's still a 5-run margin. Corvallis on top, but a 3-run home run for Doyle Kane. It scores Brady Casper and Grant Heiser. And with still only 1 out, Brooks Dyer is the batter, and a first pitch strike to Brooks. Drew Dowd touched up now for 4 runs through 4 innings. We're not yet through the 4th, just 1 out in the bottom half. 0-1 pitch to Brooks. It's a ball, 1-1 the count. So Doyle Kane taking one deep. He's hit the ball well today. A 360-foot fly out, and now a home run, about 370, as Brooks Dyer lines one into center field. Hurrying in is Briley Knight, and a sliding feet-first catch in straightaway center field. The ball coming straight at him, and went feet first on the slide to rob Brooks Dyer of a base hit. And Briley Knight makes the grab, 2 down here in the 4th. Quadrice Teague, the batter, who is the first player for Ridgefield to score, had a walk in the 3rd inning and scored. It's 9-4, Corvallis in front. Quadrice Teague takes low, ball 1 on the first pitch. He's had 3 plate appearances now. 2 of them are walks for Ridgefield, 1 of them for an RBI. Not 3 plate appearances on the day, 3 on the season. This is the 2nd one on the day. It's a grounder off the hands to first base. Kiko Romero fields a half step from the bag, steps on it, tosses the ball aside, inning over. Ridgefield scores 3 in the frame on one hit. It was a big one, a homer to right center field, and end up scoring 3 on the frame to make it 9-4. We head to the top of the 5th. It's the Corvallis Knights up by 5, and it'll be Parker going back to the mound after this break.
Every time Taco Bell's nacho fries returned, those Mexican spices were drawing something closer to the surface.
And once they taste that warm nacho cheese sauce, they won't stop till there's nothing left.
Can the Fry Force save the world and the nacho fries we love?
So either we fight together, or we fry alone.
Or will the monsters devour us all? Get your nacho fries today while you can. Now serving at a Taco Bell near you. At participating U.S. locations for a limited time only.
Welcome back to the Ridgefield Outdoor Recreation Complex. 4 innings are in the books. Both teams with some good offense so far, but Corvallis more so. Ridgefield 4 runs so far, but the Corvallis Knights scored 7 runs, and a grand slam is most of the difference right now. The Knights ahead by 5. It's 9-4. As we head to the 5th inning, Spencer Scott will lead off for the Corvallis Knights to face Parker Goen for another at-bat. Scott has done well so far. A pair of singles on the day, including a run batted in. Both of his plate appearances on the day, both of his singles in the same inning. Now comes to the plate for a 3rd time and takes a ball from Parker Goen. He came up to the plate to lead off the 3rd inning for his first at-bat. He singled and then singled again later that frame. And now comes to the plate in the 5th inning. 1-0 pitch. He hits it hard to center field. Quadrice Teague will have to move back, but he can get under it. And Quaddy makes the catch. 1 down. Riley Way is the batter, a single and a fly out on the day, also both in the 3rd inning. The senior from Lewis Clark State, originally from Lewiston, Idaho, will not face Eli Schubert in this series. Eli also from Lewis Clark State. And the 2 Warriors teammates have been on opposite teams a few times this year as Way fouls one back 0-1, but Schubert went back to LC State. Schubert, who got married earlier this summer, seemed like he wouldn't play again for the Raptors on his honeymoon and all that, but came back for the Walla Walla series and pitched on Thursday when Ridgefield got into the playoffs. A strike from Riley Way, 0-2 to Riley from Parker Goen. 1 down, nobody on. It's Corvallis ahead 9-4 in the top half of inning number 5. Here's the 0-2 from Parker Goen. Off-speed hit towards the right side and through the infield for a base hit. And Riley Way takes one the opposite direction for a 2-strike single with 1 out. And Travis Bazana will be the hitter. A 9-4 lead for the Corvallis Knights. A team that in the last decade they've missed the championship series just twice. Both times losing to Bend, and Corvallis very nearly faced Bend in this series. They lost to the Elks twice to close out the series, finishing Thursday, which put Bend in playoff contention if Ridgefield did not win Thursday, but Ridgefield did, and the Raptors got in over the Elks. A foul ball back from Bazana. It's 0-1 with one out. Ridgefield and Bend faced each other the very first series of the summer, and Ridgefield swept. Had Bend won any of those games, Bend would have been in the playoffs, and that's what it comes down to sometimes. Sometimes it's the season opener that makes the difference. A throw to first, and Ray is nearly thrown out on a pickoff attempt. But he is back safely. One down, runner on first, a 9-4 lead for the Knights, top of the fifth. Bazana at the plate with an 0-1 coming from Parker Goen. Here comes Goen, an off-speed high for ball one to Travis Bazana. Left-hand hitter headed to Oregon State for his first college ball this year. Attended a showcase in Arizona when he was high school age and got seen by some teams. Oregon State was his top pick. Guy who played in the pro league in Australia with semi-pro players, grown adults he's playing against, and has hit well in that league. And now the 18-year-old will stay in Corvallis for college ball this year. He's from Sydney, Australia, and playing in their top pro league as a high schooler. As a 1-1 count with one down from Parker Goen. From the stretch, fastball rope to center field. Quadrice Teague running back. He'll have a move on it. Then he makes the catch in front of the track. And that is out number 2. Travis Bazana flies out. And that's the first time he's been retired today. He was he was 1 for 1. Had a walk, a sack bunt when he reached on an error and a single, and now a fly out. So he's 1 for 2. Briley Knight, the batter. He is 0 for 2, a pair of flyouts and an RBI walk on the day for Briley. He has a runner on first, 2 down, and a fastball that Briley is out ahead in front of and fouls it to the first base side, 0-1. It's Corvallis 9, Ridgefield 4. All 13 of those runs scored between the third and the fourth innings. And an 0-1 count to Briley Knight. So that's what it came down to. June 4th, series opener. Ridgefield won that game 5-1, and without that win, Ridgefield would not have made the playoffs. Bend would have been in. And Ridgefield finished out 26-22. First winning season as a team. Low and away with the runner going. Riley Way, a good jump, and he's in safely at second base, just ahead of the throw from Grant Heiser. Good pop time from Grant, but the throw not quite in there to get Riley Way. And a stolen base for Riley. Runner on second, 2 down, top of the fifth. Briley Knight an RBI opportunity now with a 1-1 count from Parker Goen. Right-hander looks back at second, now throws a ground ball to Isaac Lovings, and off the glove of the first baseman, Riley Way will round third and score. Briley Knight hits one hard to Isaac Lovings, and the first baseman reached down and over, and it bounced off the webbing. It'll be ruled a base hit, and an RBI single for Briley Knight. It's now the Corvallis Knights 10 and the Ridgefield Raptors 4. So Way scores on the stolen base, or after the stolen base, and then scores on the single. And Nick Vogt, the batter, with RBI singles in his last 2 at-bats. He scored once, is 2 for 3. A designated hitter with a runner on first and grounds the ball to second base. Mikey Kane running over, and he makes the play on the second hop, throws to first for the out. 1 run does come in for the Corvallis Knights. And each of the last 5 half innings have produced runs for these teams. Corvallis has provided the bulk of them. It's 10-4. The Knights in front. Ridgefield back to the plate in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Stay with us on the Raptors live stream.
Baseball is back, and Peace Health is excited to once again sponsor the Ridgefield Raptors as they vie for the West Coast League title. Raptors games make a great family outing. Bring the whole crew to the ballpark to enjoy a safe, fun outdoor event featuring the thrills of Raptors baseball. As the largest health provider in Clark County, Peace Health is ready to step up to the plate and keep your family in the game, whether it's a routine appointment or specialty emergency care. Peace Health and the Ridgefield Raptors, 2 great teams.
C-Tran is your public transit system offering service in Clark County and beyond. Catch local service in Clark County, regional and express service to Portland, and connector service within the city limits of Camas, La Center, and Ridgefield. And if you don't have cash, no problem. C-Tran now accepts digital payments with Hop FastPass. So hit a home run and leave the driving to us. Visit c-tran.com for more information. C-Tran, our community, our promise.
The West Coast League Southern Divisional Series Game 1 is at the halfway mark. It's 10 runs for Corvallis, 4 runs for the Ridgefield Raptors, bottom of the 5th, and Tanner Jocks coming to the plate. Right-hand hitter out of Linfield University, facing Drew Dowd here in the bottom of the 5th. Tanner has a single and a ground out on the day. 1 for 2 with Dowd now encountering Tanner for a third time, and an opening strike from Drew Dowd, left-hander from Stanford. The Corvallis Knights 8-1 when Drew Dowd appears in the games, getting his 3rd start and 10th appearance. Tanner takes another pitch and different result. Ball 1-1. To Tanner Jocks, who's been one of the most fun storylines for Ridgefield this whole year. An opening day starter at shortstop for Ridgefield, and here we are in the playoffs, and he's again still starting at shortstop. A foul tip into the glove. It's 1-2 for Tanner. A lot of players move in and out of lineups. It's normal for West Coast League Baseball. There are 2 guys who are starting today for the Raptors who were opening day starters. That's Will Chambers and Tanner Jocks. 1-2 pitch is off the plate for ball 2. Tanner had the inside the park home run on Thursday, which I checked, and yes, it is the first ever. Not only first in the summer for Ridgefield, first ever inside the park home run. And it is essentially what Ridgefield got to the playoffs with. Ridgefield, I don't think, would have gotten in. After all, that game went to extra innings as Tanner takes a pitch on the black for strike 3 from Drew Dowd. 1 away in the 5th inning. Tanner, who was on a 10-day contract to start out this year and could have been just a temporary player. Other guys come in, and he could have been sent home with a thank you, thanks for playing for us, and we'll see you later. But he played his way into a full contract with Ridgefield and spent the whole summer here. He's now 1 for 3 on the day. Mikey Kane, the batter, who's 1 for 2. Reached base both times, a fielder's choice and a single. And swings, misses the Drew Dowd first offering. 0-1 the count, 1 down. 6-run margin with the Corvallis Knights in front. Both teams with home runs on the day. Mikey Kane's brother, Doyle Kane, with a 3-run bomb to provide 3 of the 4 runs for the Raptors today. But it was the home run, the grand slam for Kiko Romero, that provided a chunk of the runs for Corvallis. A ball from Dowd. It's 1-1 to Mikey Kane, 15 months younger than Doyle. 1-1 pitch is a liner into right center field. It'll split the outfielders and get down for a base hit. It gets by the center fielder, but the right fielder cuts it off in front of the wall, and Mikey Kane will be limited to a single. But a base hit for Mikey Kane, who's now 2 for 3 on the day and is hitting over 500 in somewhat small sample size, but not all that small. He's up to 22 at-bats now, and he has 11 base hits, so exactly at 500. And Isaac Lovings will be the batter. 3 extra base hits on the year for Isaac. They are all home runs, including one against Walla Walla in the series opener. Now in the opener against Corvallis, and takes a big hack, but a bit behind the pitch from Drew Dowd. 0-1 the count. 1 down, runner on first for the Ridgefield Raptors in game 1 of this series. They trail 10-4. Drew Dowd from the stretch now. In the 0-1, a fastball skimmed into the glove for strike 2 on a foul tip. Isaac Lovings, who's from Sunset High School, grew up in the Beaverton area, played for Concordia, and moved on to Pacific after Concordia folded. He plays for the Boxers now, and their main catcher. The 0-2, he swings late, and strike 3 from Drew Dowd, who is now up to 5 punch-outs on the day, 2 on this inning, and Will Chambers will be the batter. Chambers has a fly-out and a strikeout on the day. He also played well in the series opener against Walla Walla, went 2 for 5 in that game with 2 RBIs and 2 runs, but did not have a hit since then in the 2 games after in that series, but does have a hit today. Chambers again swings at the first pitch, a grounder to short. Riley Way looking at second, nobody there, he'll throw to first. Bazana did not cover second, and Riley Way started to look that way and was going to throw, and Bazana just held at second and did not run to cover, and Riley Way reversed course and threw to first in time for the out, and Chambers is retired 6-3 instead of a fielder's choice. It still ends the inning. Riley Way gives a little tap to the glove of Travis Bazzana, who, I don't know what he said. Maybe sorry should have covered that, but it does end the inning either way. No runs in for the Raptors on one base hit and one left on. We head to the sixth. It's Corvallis 10 and the Ridgefield Raptors 4.
Dick Hanna Dealerships is proud to welcome everyone back to support our Ridgefield Raptors. Just in time for warm summer nights with family and friends, lounging on the lawn, or eating dogs in the stands. Feels good to be back. In business for over 70 years, Dick Hanna Dealerships is a local, family-owned business with locations in Vancouver, Kelso, and Portland. Choose from thousands of cars and 12 new car brands. Experience nice in the car business. Dick Hanna Dealerships. Believe in nice. Now play ball.
Join the Ridgefield Raptors for warm sunshine, great food, and exciting top-level college baseball at the Rourke. Bring your family, friends, neighbors, and coworkers for a relaxing night outdoors this season. Your group can welcome us on the Les Schwab left field platform, the Leonard Holmes and Dick Hanna Grass Burbs, or the First Centennial and Wellhaven Pet Health picnic areas. There's nothing like a Ridgefield Raptors summer baseball game. Get your tickets now at ridgefieldraptors.com. Go Raptors!
Innings in the books here between the Ridgefield Raptors and the Corvallis Knights in the first game of the 2021 playoffs, simultaneous with the Northern Division Game 1 between Yakima Valley and Bellingham. We'll take a look at the scoreboard in a moment to see which team has worked well in Game 1 of that series up in Bellingham as Parker Goen starts out the sixth inning with a ball inside. 10-4 is the lead for the Corvallis Knights. And the batter is Kiko Romero, who takes a pitch for a strike. He's had quite a day so far. He struck out in the first inning and then has been a torch of a hitter since then. 7 bases between his next 2 at-bats, a grand slam and a triple. He fouls one away for strike 2. Would have had an RBI triple, except the batter in front of him, Nick Vogt, singled and then was caught stealing and would have scored on the triple, but obviously out, and so no 5 RBI day for Kiko Romero, at least not yet. He's got the bases empty. 1-2 the count from Parker Goen. And a fastball he handles down the first baseline, foul. Lovings scoops it up just to the right of the line. And it's a 1-2 count, and Romero will walk back to the dugout, not because he's out, but because apparently he needs a new bat. And apparently broke one and hit off the handle and breaks his barrel. And he has a 1-2 count with a new bat being used for Kiko Romero. And so the bat that he hit the grand slam with lasts just about 45 minutes longer. And has a 1-2 count from Parker Goen. Leadoff man in the 6th inning. Corvallis ahead by 6. Here is the 1-2 from Goen. Fastball that he launches pop-up on the right side. Mikey Kane under it. And the second baseman takes one step back after getting under it and now makes the grab. 1 down. Tanner Smith, the batter. He has a walk, a single, and a flyout in the ballgame. Top of the 6th inning continuing. 1 down, a 6-run margin with the Knights in front of 635 fans today. Game 1 of the series. Ridgefield has gone 16-8 at home on the year. Actually had a losing record at home back in 2019, out of the better record on the road. As Goen drops a breaking ball for a strike. 0-1 the count to Tanner Smith, 1 away. And the next pitch in the dirt bounces away from Heiser. Top of the 6th inning, 10-4, Corvallis in front. 1-1 the count. Ridgefield went 11-16 at home and an opposite 16-11 on the road to be an even 27-27 on the year in their first season. And this year has been a more conventional, better at home, worse on the road sort of year. 1-1 pitches hit high into center field, not too deep. Quadrice Teague moving laterally into right center, and Quadrice makes the play for out number 2. So 16-8 on the year at home for Ridgefield, 10-14 on the road for the Raptors. A 26-22 record. They have fewer wins this year, but playing 6 fewer games. So after a 500 year this season, they go 26-22. They could get back to 27 wins if they beat Corvallis this series, as Stan Cotto is the batter. Kyler takes ball 1. Ridgefield, however, has not beaten Corvallis in 2019 or 2020. They're 0-12 against the Knights. Need a couple wins to move through this series. 1-0 pitch is a grounder foul on the first base side, and it's a 1-1 count. Corvallis ahead by 6 in this game. Yakima Valley and Bellingham also in a wide margin. In fact, bigger than this one. In the 5th inning in Bellingham, it's the Bells taking the lead. They're the lower seed and the home team, and they're ahead 8-1 over the Pippins at Joe Martin Field. 1-1 pitch, off speed. Stancato went around and kind of took a half swing and was unable to hold back. Strike 2 on Kyler. 2 down, 1-2 the count, nobody out. As Parker Goen tries to put together a 1-2-3 inning. Brock Gillis did put down Corvallis in order in the second and did not allow a hit through the first 2 innings, but Ridgefield allowed 7 runs. Corvallis a grand slam and 3 more runs in that 3rd inning to break the game open. They lead 10-4 as Goen throws the ball. 2-2 the count, 2 away. Base is empty right now in the 6th. So Bellingham ahead of Yakima Valley. While it's the higher seed in the lead right now for Corvallis here in Ridgefield. Here's the 2-2 from Parker Goen. A foul ball behind home, and Heiser thinks that it's a drop third strike. He sprints back and will throw to first and throws over Lovings. And they're going to throw to first, and Stancato is saying that was a foul ball. But the Ridgefield players coming off the field, the umpires, I haven't seen a ruling, but they're apparently calling a strikeout. That ball got behind home plate. If Kyler did not make contact, then it's a live ball on strike 3. Heiser threw to first off the glove. Stancato could have reached first had he been running and never left the plate and is forced out at first, and all the Ridgefield players run off the field. Brooke Knight still talking with Tim Heigl, the home plate umpire. As Stancato said, I fouled that one. It's a foul ball. The inning shouldn't be over. And at the moment, the call is drop third strike and inning completed. And that's going to be the call. So Stancato strikes out. And it goes down as a 2-3-4-3 drop third strike as the ball got over Lovings and Mikey Kane backing it up and threw back to Lovings for the out. And that ends the inning. So we head to the bottom of the 6th. It's still Corvallis 10 and the Ridgefield Raptors 4.
A lot has changed in Clark County since C-Tran began service in 1981. We've changed with it. 30 bus routes, 2 bus rapid transit projects, and millions of rides later, C-Tran has grown into an award-winning transit system serving Clark County, including the city limits of Ridgefield. Please join C-Tran in celebrating an amazing 40 years serving you, our community, with activities happening in 2021. Look for details at c-tran.com, and thank you for 40 great years.
Ridgefield Main Street thanks you for supporting the Raptors and downtown, the heart of Ridgefield. Spend the moolah you win at the game at downtown shops and restaurants. Upcoming events include Main Street Day, C-Tran Shuttle Downtown Tailgate, and the Friday Night Flicks Outdoor Film Series. We are a nonprofit organization dedicated to preserving the cultural heritage of downtown Ridgefield while advocating for its future. More information at ridgefieldmainstreet.com and find us on Facebook at Ridgefield Main Street. We'll see you downtown, and go Raptors!
Grant Heiser to lead off for the Ridgefield Raptors, bottom of the 6th, as Drew Dowd returns to the slab for the Corvallis Knights, who lead 10 runs to 4 over the Ridgefield Raptors. Heiser takes low for ball 1. Grant leading off the 6th inning and then hits one in over the second baseman, and no, Bazana gets under it, and Travis makes the catch on a looper from Grant Heiser for out number 1. And it'll bring up Brady Casper to the plate. 1 down, bottom of the 6th. It's Corvallis 10, Ridgefield 4. Down in Goss Stadium tomorrow at 6:35 for Game 2. Whichever team wins this one will be in position to close out the series tomorrow with a win. If the losing team comes back to win Game 2, we'll play at 6:35 Monday, also at Goss Stadium. Casper the batter and a breaking ball high for ball 1. The higher seed has to go on the road first in the divisional series and championship series, which is kind of tough for the higher seed after all. And although Game 3 would be at their ballpark, a grounder from Casper to the second baseman, Bazana, and he makes the assist for out number 2. So both Ball's put into play right towards Travis Bazana, 2 down. And Doyle Kane, the batter, his first at-bat since hitting a home run. He's hit 2 balls really well today. And in fact, his fly out was harder hit than his home run. Problem is, he hit the fly ball to straightaway center, and it traveled 360 feet. But for a fly out, his home run traveled 359 feet, 1 foot shorter, but it got over the wall in right center. Traveled 91 miles an hour off the barrel for a 3-run home run. Takes a strike to open up the at-bat, 2 down, bases empty, and a breaking ball from Dowd for ball 1. Bottom of the inning number 6. It's Corvallis ahead by 6. With Doyle Kane at the plate, the 1-1 count from Drew Dowd. The left-hander deals a fastball hit hard to left center. This will take the left fielder Tyson Corio over. He'll make a diving attempt. He can't get there. It lands and drops to the wall. Doyle Kane will sprint for third. The cutoff throw into third base is fumbled by the cutoff man, and Doyle Kane's going to sprint for home. Now Riley Way throws, and Kane scores. Doyle Kane gets all the way around. A triple and an error, and Doyle Kane rounds the bases for a Little League style inside the park home run. Give him officially a triple, but Doyle Kane scores on the sequence. It's 10-5. The cutoff throw from Riley Way was bobbled in left field. And Doyle Kane was going to have a close play at third to see if he could get a triple. And then as it was fumbled in left field and got away from the cutoff man, he scored on the play. With 2 down and a run in, it's Brooks Dyer, the batter, and he pops one up. And it'll be playable for the third baseman, Spencer Scott. He makes the grab, and the inning is over. So it's a really quick inning, only lasted about 4 minutes. But Doyle Kane rounds the bases, and maybe the most exciting sequence today. Not quite an inside-the-park home run. Would have been the second in team history and the second in 2 games. But it ends up as a triple and an error and a run scored. It's 10-5, Corvallis in front as we head to the 7th inning. Stay with us on the Raptors live stream.
This is WSU Vancouver, Southwest Washington's only 4-year research university. Whether in person or via distance delivery, WSU Vancouver offers high-quality education and an employer-respected degree. You'll get a small school feel in the kind of place where you know you matter. Here, you'll get personalized education that brings out the best in you and inspires you to achieve your highest goals. Now, what are you waiting for? Apply today.
The Ridgefield Raptors are thrilled to reunite with fans and enjoy summer baseball again. Join us for America's favorite pastime. The Raptors are following state guidelines for spectator events and ask for your patience as we prepare for exciting West Coast League play. Please be courteous to our staff, fans, and players as we celebrate the return of your Ridgefield Raptors this summer. Let's make it a great season at the Rourke. Get your tickets now at ridgefieldraptors.com. Go Raptors!
Top of the 7th inning here at the Rourke. Through the first 6 innings, the Corvallis Knights 10 runs on 12 hits, 2 errors. And the Ridgefield Raptors 5 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. Correction there, I called it an error on Riley Way. He was next to the cutoff man. It was Travis Bazana, the one who misplayed the ball. So E4 when Doyle Kane tripled and then scored on the cutoff throw that was trying to be thrown to third base, and then he scored on the sequence. Tyson Corio is the batter to open up the 7th inning. Ground ball to first base. Isaac Loving slides, fields, throws to Goen, underhands in time. And the pitcher gets there. Parker Goen for the play. The put out at first, 1 away in the 7th inning. Nice play by both sides of that. Loving's going to a sliding play, knees first, and then underhands back to Goen, who just barely raced in front of Tyson Corio for the 3-1 ground out. Spencer Scott will be the batter. 1 away, nobody on, a 5-run margin, Corvallis in front here in the 7th inning. Doyle Kane to the plate and a pop-up into shallow center field. The second baseman, Mikey Kane, at the edge of the infield and makes the catch in the outfield turf with Quadrice Teague backing him up, the center fielder. And 2 down. with Riley Way, the batter. So Doyle Kane had that triple, which now means there are 2 players in this game, 1 for each team, with a triple and a home run on the day. The grand slam by Romero, he followed it with a triple, and then Doyle Kane of the 3-run home run followed it with a triple. Both players scored after their respective triples. And so 2 pretty stalwart performances, 1 guy for each team. First pitch is a ball to Riley Way, and then he fouls one behind home plate for strike 1. 2 down, base is empty. In the top of the 7th inning, Corvallis ahead, doubling up Ridgefield so far. 10-5 is the margin. Here's the 1-1 from Parker going. Fastball fouled away. 1-2 is the count to Riley. A shortstop from Lewis Clark State. He has singled twice and flied out once. The outfield playing him straight up with a 1-2 count. Wind blowing to right field. The 1-2 pitch, he hits it foul again. Corvallis good at fighting. A lot of players will just foul off pitches. They're not going to go down easy. 4 strikeouts in the day between Brock Gillis, who's normally somewhat of a strikeout guy, and the bullpen. Parker going, the second pitcher on the day. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, drops in and hit towards short, and a diving attempt by Tanner Jocks. He can't get in front of it. It's a 2-out base hit for Riley Way. First base runner allowed off of Parker going since Briley Knight singled back in the 5th inning. That was 7 in a row retired for Parker, but Riley Way singles through the infield. 1 on 2 out. Top of the 7th. With a 10-5 lead for the Knights, it's Travis Bazzana, the batter. With a runner on first, Riley Way, capable stealer, and a throw over to first, and he's back in time. It looked like he was going to be going because on the move, he almost started to step towards second, but did get back. Bazzana, the hitter, he is 1 for 2 on the day. This is his 5th plate appearance on the evening. And still will yet to see a pitch, another pickoff move that Way gets back a bit easier on. A walk for Bazzana, a sac bunt, a single, and a flyout. He scored twice. With 2 stolen bases on the day for Travis. He's at the plate with 2 down. Now sees a pitch and takes it in the dirt. Gets away from Heiser for a wild pitch. And Riley Way will take a turn around second and think about third. And now the throw to second will not be in time to get him getting too far around second as Heiser got back to the ball, and Riley Way saw him on the opposite side of home plate. And Way took a big turn around second, knowing he could get back even if Heiser tried to backpick him. And indeed, Riley Way did get back to second, so he gets ahead 90 feet on a wild pitch and stays at second. Bazzana, the batter, 2 down. 5-run lead for the Knights. Top of the 7th. From the stretch comes going. It's outside for ball 2 to Travis. Has 82 hits now in the summer, including 1 playoff hit. His first playoff experience. Some of these Knights come back from the 2019 squad that made it to the championship series and won in the championship. 2-0 pitches hit hard by Bazzana, straight away center field. Quadri's Teague back. He'll get under it and make the catch as Bazzana flies out to end the frame. 7th inning goes in scoreless fashion as Parker Goen has gone the last 2 innings scoreless. Against the Knights, it's still 10-5, Corvallis in front. It is time to stretch from the Rourke. Stay with us on the Raptors live stream.
At Clark Public Utilities, we know you depend on electricity every day. And even though our offices remain closed, we're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, by phone, online, and email. The past year has brought changes to many in our community, with lost jobs or reduced working hours, disrupted childcare, and the challenge of teaching the kids. If you've been financially impacted by the pandemic and can't pay your utility bill, call us or send an email right away. Eligibility for payment assistance has been expanded so more households may qualify. Through it all, we're always here to provide you with safe and reliable service, and we're ready to help. Clark Public Utilities, ranked highest in customer satisfaction among residential mid-size utilities in the West by J.D. Power, 13 years in a row. For J.D. Power 2020 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Clark Public Utilities, we're always here.
Another inning for Drew Dowd,
The left-hander for the Corvallis Knights getting the start tonight against the Ridgefield Raptors. He will now face Quadrice Teague for the third time. It is Corvallis in front by a comfortable margin, but Ridgefield has made it a little less comfortable after Corvallis scored 7 runs in the third inning. Ridgefield has outscored the Knights since then 5-3. It's 10-5, Corvallis in front, bottom of the 7th. Drew Dowd winds and throws a slider that gets Quadrice Teague swinging. It's 0-1. Quadrice walked in the third inning, scored later that frame, grounded out to first in his other plate appearance. The Clark College Penguin at the plate with an 0-1 count from Drew Dowd. Another breaking ball that's also swung on and missed. It's 0-2 from Drew. Coming off a start 8 days ago against Ridgefield, went 6 innings in that game, gave up just 2 hits and 1 earned run. 2 walks and 7 strikeouts. He'll go further today if he can get an out here. 0-2 pitches down in the dirt for ball 1. He's gone 6 innings already, allowing 6 hits and 5 runs, but has a 5-run lead to work with. As the Knights have a grand slam on the day and 6 more runs beyond that. It's a 1-2 count to Quadrice Teague and a fastball that is at the knees for strike 3. And Drew Dowd has his 6th punch out of the day. Strikeout looking, and Tanner Jocks the batter, who's 1 for 3. 243 average on the year for Tanner. Transfer from Skagit Valley to Linfield. And the Vancouver native perhaps playing his final game in this ballpark. The only way that would not be true is if Ridgefield wins at least one game, or the third game in Corvallis. And a liner to the left side, and it bounces at the edge of the infield, and a base hit. Gets into left field, and Tanner Jocks has himself a 2-hit day. And his second single on the evening, and a 1-out single here in the 7th. And it brings up Mikey Kane. 1 on, 1 out for the Raptors, trailing by 5. Mikey Kane, who's 2 for 3 on the day with 2 singles. His brother with a home run and a triple, Doyle Kane. In fact, on this date, back in 1962, there were a pair of brothers suiting up. The Aaron brothers, Hank Aaron and his brother Tommy, both suiting up for the Atlanta Braves, and they both hit home runs on the same day, on this date, as Mikey Kane hits a fly ball, decent depth, but right at the center fielder. And Briley Knight makes the grab, 2 away here in the 7th inning. So Mikey Kane may not also have a home run, at least not yet, but he does have 2 singles on the day. Hank Aaron and Tommy Aaron both hitting home runs in the same game on this date in 1962 in back-to-back innings. And a 1-run win over Cincinnati 49 years ago exactly. And now the 2 brothers have combined for 4 hits on the day, including 8 bases, or 9 bases on the day, 2 singles, a triple, and a home run. Now it's Isaac Lovings, the batter. It's a ground ball through the infield into center field for another single. Lovings has the second single of the inning for the Raptors, his first base hit. That moves Tanner Jocks to second, and now 2 on, 2 out for Will Chambers. Will, who's the league leader in home runs, has a single on the day. He's 1 for 3. A 10-5 lead for the Corvallis Knights, bottom of the 7th. Will, the switch hitter, has batted right-handed for all 3 at-bats so far. This is his 4th. A fly out, a single, and a ground out. On the day for Will Chambers, he's got 2 outs and 2 on for the Raptors, trailing by 5. On deck is Grant Heiser. Will Chambers readying for Drew Dowd's first pitch, and he hammers it to left center field. Will Chambers crushes one to the left center power alley, and he gets down for a base hit. It'll score at least 1. Chambers will dig for second on the throw. A long single and advance on the throw for Chambers. It scores Tanner Jocks from second. Loving stops from third. It's an RBI base hit for Will Chambers into the wind on what would have been a home run in a lot of ballparks. And Will manages to get to second on the throw in, and it's an RBI base hit for Will. That was cranked to left center field. And I think it hit the wall and left. It was right behind the pole and hard to see, but a long hit for Will Chambers. And now runners on second and third for Grant Heiser. It scores Jocks from second, and Lovings held up at third. And Chambers is given a double on the play, so give him an RBI 2-bagger. And Grant Heiser will be the batter. Whether or not he'll face Drew Dowd will be seen. A mound visit right now. I don't see anyone. Oh, there is somebody throwing for Corvallis in their pen. But at the moment, Dowd looks like he's staying in and does get the green light to stay in this ball game. He's got runners in second and third. Grant Heiser, the batter, a 4-run lead for the Knights now. It's 10-6. Heiser, who is 0 for 3, has a run scored. He reached on a fielder's choice. Last Corvallis game, Heiser went 1 for 4 with a run in the finale, a slider that he swings and does not find. 0-1 the count from Drew Dowd. Runners on second and third. With Heiser at the plate, Brady Casper on deck. There are 2 outs. Drew Dowd comes set after giving up 1 run each of the last 2 innings. 6 runs in the ball game. Another breaking ball. This one blocked. No swing from Heiser. It's 1-1. Dowd has given up 6, 4 of them earned. 2 walks and now 9 hits allowed. Ridgefield has hit well today. 6 runs in the ball game, right around their league average. Finished out the regular season second in the league in runs scored, behind only Bend. 0-1 the count, or 1-1 the count from Drew Dowd. Fastball away, ball 2. 2-1 the count, 2 on. Levings and Chambers, the runners, with 2 down. Infield playing straight up with Bazana a little bit towards second base, so a hole on the right side of the infield. Heiser takes a lot of balls up the middle and to left. He has a 2-1 count from Drew Dowd. Fastball he chases in the dirt. Strike 2. Heiser, the catcher from Camas, Washington. Grew up playing catcher. He has played 3 positions this year for Ridgefield, third base and first base as well as catcher. He's the hitter right now with 2 on and 2 out. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Slider falls in. Strike 3. And Drew Dowd strands a pair in scoring position and gets out of it with just 1 run in on the double by Will Chambers. It makes it a 10-6 ball game as we head to the 8th inning from Ridgefield. The Corvallis Knights ahead by 4, and they'll be back to the plate after this break.
Warmer weather is here, and what better way to enjoy a summer day than with a trip to the ballpark to watch exciting Ridgefield Raptors baseball. Play ball! Don't miss the action on the diamond as the Ridgefield Raptors battle other Western League rivals for the championship. This safe outdoor event is a perfect outing for you and your friends. Peace Health is a proud sponsor of the Ridgefield Raptors, with a team of medical experts on deck to provide your family the care you need. Treat your family to an exciting night at the ballpark and make it part of your healthy, active summer. Peace Health and Ridgefield Raptors Baseball, a great double play.
The Ridgefield Raptors are thrilled to reunite with fans and enjoy summer baseball again. Join us for America's favorite pastime. The Raptors are following state guidelines for spectator events and ask for your patience as we prepare for exciting West Coast League play. Please be courteous to our staff, fans, and players as we celebrate the return of your Ridgefield Raptors this summer. Let's make it a great season at the Rourke. Get your tickets now at ridgefieldraptors.com. Go Raptors!
Seven innings now in the books between the Ridgefield Raptors and the Corvallis Knights, as Thomas Blayhouse will be the new pitcher for the Ridgefield Raptors. And it's a Corvallis lead of 10-6 right now. And I hope Carl's okay. I think a stray ball just hit the team photographer. And I think Carl's okay. If you're watching the live stream, that's what's going on. Carl in that tan sweatshirt. And I just looked up right as that was happening, and I think Carl's giving a pat on the back to Chris Cota. They're checking on him. Carl, beloved around the team and always pretty much at all the home games, and I think he's okay. So Blayhouse will be the new pitcher, has a 4-run lead for the Corvallis Knights. Blayhouse and the Raptors in the field to face Corvallis in the top of the 8th inning. It'll be Briley Knight, Nick Vogt, and Kiko Romero, the batters. After Ridgefield has scored a run each of the last 2 innings to cut into the lead, they trailed 7-0 and trailed 10-4 but have cut it down to a 10-6 ball game, an RBI double for Will Chambers to make it a 4-run game, but only 2 innings left in this contest. Game 1 of the divisional series. And Game 2, and if necessary 3, will be down in Corvallis tomorrow and Monday at 6:35 for each of those games as well. This game is now 2 hours and 5 minutes old into the 8th inning. Thomas Blayhouse, the pitcher, is out of University of Washington. He follows a good appearance by Parker Goen. Came in mop-up duty, came in the 4th inning and needed to hold Corvallis. He did give up 2 runs, 1 walk, and 5 hits, but held Corvallis close enough that Ridgefield's within striking distance. And now it's Thomas Blayhouse's job. His 6th appearance on the year is from Woodway, Washington. The 19-year-old to the plate for the first pitch of the 8th inning. It's a ball high to Briley Knight. 10-6 the score, Corvallis in front. Blayhouse, who pitched a scoreless inning against Corvallis, his most recent appearance a week ago in that 7-2 loss to the Knights. Next pitch from Blayhouse, a changeup that is hit down the line for strike 1 from Briley Knight. 1-1 the count, nobody out, just starting the 8th inning. Corvallis with 13 hits on the day, and Ridgefield with 9. These two teams came in even in hits on the year amongst games played against each other. Ridgefield had more hits overall on the summer. The games against each other even as Knight skies one for a foul ball, 1-2 the count. 43 hits for Corvallis when playing Ridgefield. Ridgefield 43 hits when playing Corvallis. However, the win-loss record was Corvallis 6-0 against the Raptors, even though they matched each other in hits. Ridgefield was not terribly outplayed in those games, just never won any of them. Ground ball in the first base portion and a foul ball. And it remains a 1-2 count from Thomas Blayhouse. An ERA of 11.81 on the year for Thomas. Just 5 innings on the year, 10 strikeouts, 10 walks, 3 hits. So an average allowed of just 158 on the summer. If he can limit the walks, he's in good hands here. If he can find the zone, he's ahead 1-2, but throws way high for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Thomas Blayhouse out of Edmonds Woodway High, and has spent 1 year at UW. Infield playing to the right side for Briley Knight, left-hand hitter. Leadoff man in the 8th. As a 2-2 count from Thomas Blayhouse, who's out of the stretch. To the plate, and the 2-2 pitch is hit foul by Briley Knight. Briley is flied out to right field, an RBI walk, a fly out to left field, and an RBI single. Briley, who came in 11 for 44 on the summer, played in the Cape Cod League for the bulk of this season, but started with the Knights and ending with the Knights. There's the 2-2 pitch to Briley, gets him swinging, and Thomas Blayhouse punches out the first man he faces. 1 away in the top of the 8th inning. Nick Vogt is the batter. That is strikeout number 5 in the day for Ridgefield pitchers. Top of the 8th inning. 10-6 the score. Corvallis in front. Take a look at the scoreboard. At last check, Bellingham was well in front, and they have extended the lead over the top seed in the Northern Division. And a blowout in the 6th inning at Joe Martin Field. 12-1 is the score with the lower seed, the Bellingham Bells, who got in. If we're seeding 1 through 4, which is not how the playoffs are done, but if we were, Bellingham would be the last seed. Ridgefield would be the 3 seed. First pitch is a strike to Nick Vogt. Blayhouse follows the 0-1 with another called strike. And it's quickly 0-2 to Nick Vogt. Bellingham got in the playoffs with an even 24-24 record on the year. They had to win their final game to avoid a losing record. And they get into the playoffs since the Northern Division had only 1 team with a winning record. Bellingham got in with a 500 mark, as Brooke Knight is asking something of the home plate umpire Tim Heigl. And now Tim writing something in his book. I'm not sure if he warned Brooke Knight or what it was exactly. It's an 0-2 count after 2 called strikes on Nick Vogt. There's 1 out, bases empty. And the top of the 8th inning, a 4-run lead for the Knights. Here's the 0-2, and it's down and a bit inside for ball 1. Although there's only 1 team with a winning record in the Northern Division, the Southern Division had Cowlitz at 500, every other team with a winning record, so no teams with a losing record. Cowlitz finished last in the division with the same record as Bellingham, which is in the playoffs. That's how weird this year turned out to be. A ball down and in from Playhouse. So Callis ends up in the caboose position in the Southern Division. And yet the team they matched with, 24-24, is now not only in the playoffs but leading 12-1. And that's what happens. You get in and anything can happen, especially for a team that holds on to a lot of its players. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 away. Nick Vogt at the dish, and the 2-2 pitch to him is roped down the third base side for a base hit. Might go for extras. Vogt will take a turn around first. He'll head for second. The throw in from left field's cut off and thrown late, and he's in there for a 1-out double. Nick Vogt torches one to left field, cut off by Doyle Kane. And the throw to Tanner Jocks was a good one, but the cutoff not quite in time. And a 1-out 2-bagger for Nick Vogt. And it'll bring Kiko Romero to the plate. 2 for 4 in the day, a grand slam and a triple for the Central Arizona College product out of Tucson, Arizona. Came in with 3 singles against Ridgefield, 3 for 17. And got his first 2 extra base hits against the Raptors this summer in game number 7 between these 2 ball clubs. A foul ball for Romero. 0-1 the count, 1 away. Runner on second for the Knights, who are trying to enlarge their 4-run advantage over the Raptors. Heiser asking a question of Tim Heigl, our home plate umpire tonight. And Heiser and Heigl discussing things with each other, and Heiser will finish out that conversation and jog out to Playhouse to have another discussion. I'm not sure what Heiser was having the first conversation about, maybe checking the number of mound visits they had already used. You have 6 in a ball game, 3 for the coaches and 3 for the catcher, although the catcher can steal 1 from the coaches if he goes out 4 times, and the coaches would have 2 remaining, that sort of thing. And Heiser uses 1 of them here. 0-1 the count to Kiko Romero, the first baseman today. He was hitting .236 on the summer, had 3 home runs on the year, and had a grand slam earlier today. No balls and 1 strike with a runner on second. Playhouse throws a fastball, broken bat ground ball up the middle for a base hit. Coming around third and scoring with a throw, but not in time to get Nick Vogt, who scores from second on a broken bat RBI single for Romero. And he's now a double shy of the cycle. He's got a grand slam, a triple, and an RBI single on the day. And it scores Nick Vogt. It makes it 11-6. Corvallis on top. Tanner Smith, the batter. Now with a runner on first, 1 down in the top of the 8th inning. By the way, this is the most runs that Ridgefield has scored against Corvallis all year long. As Smith is bunting third base side, barehanded by Dyer. He'll throw on a 1-hop to Lovings. He holds on to it for the out. On a bouncer on a sac bunt. There's 1 away. And Tanner Smith bunts, but is forced out at first. And it gets Romero to second, 2 down. And Brooks Dyer puts him out. So 2 down, top of the 8th continuing. 5-run lead for the Knights. And Kyler Stancato, the batter. With Thomas Playhouse trying to limit the damage to 1 run this inning. Throws an off-speed high for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Outfield playing straight up to Kyler Stancato, who has a sac bunt on the day, an RBI single, a strikeout, and a flyout. The 1-0 pitch is hit into left field. Doyle Kane running in, and he'll be able to get under it, makes a running grab, and the inning is over. A fly out to left field, and Corvallis does score 1 run on the inning, a double for Nick Vogt, and an RBI single for Kiko Romero. The Knights are up to 15 hits in the ballgame, and they lead this contest by a score of 11-6. Middle of the 8th inning. Stay with us on the Raptors live stream.
Baseball is back, and Peace Health is excited to once again sponsor the Ridgefield Raptors as they vie for the West Coast League title. Raptors games make a great family outing. Bring the whole crew to the ballpark to enjoy a safe, fun outdoor event featuring the thrills of Raptors baseball. As the largest health provider in Clark County, Peace Health is ready to step up to the plate and keep your family in the game, whether it's a routine appointment or specialty emergency care. Peace Health and the Ridgefield Raptors, 2 great teams.
The Ridgefield Raptors are back, where the entire family can watch top-level college baseball players live at the Rourke. Now, kids 12 and under get in free with a paid adult for all Sunday afternoon Raptors games. Enjoy local Southwest Washington baseball with the whole family this summer. Sunday games are at 105 and are presented by Peace Health and the Columbian. Come cheer on your Ridgefield Raptors all season long. Get your tickets now at ridgefieldraptors.com. Go Raptors!
New pitcher for the Corvallis Knights as we come into the bottom of the 8th inning. This is the second consecutive time when Brock Gillis has started a game and his brother has come in after him, not in relief for his own team, but against him. Brock is already out of this game. Starting this game for the Ridgefield Raptors, Brett Gillis comes in relief for the Corvallis Knights. It's an 11-6 lead, 5-run margin with the Knights in front. And Brock Gillis had started today with the first 3+ innings, and now Brett Gillis comes in for the Knights in relief. His team up by 5. He will not be in position for the win, unlike a week ago when Brock Gillis started the game, pitched really well, but suffered the loss, and Brett Gillis got the win for the Corvallis Knights. And Brady Casper will be the first batter to face Brett Gillis out of University of Portland. Brock is transferring to UP to join his brother with the Pilots. And Casper from Oregon State swings at the first offering and fouls it back at 92 miles an hour from Brett Gillis. He's the older one, the middle brother. Bryce, Brett, Brock are the trio. And Brett, the middle one, with the team's best ERA for the Knights. Brady Casper launches one to right field foul, but well hit for Brady. 2 foul balls in the at-bat. He's behind 0-2. To Brett Gillis with a 0.81 ERA on the year. Just 11 innings on the summer. He is 2-0. Made 14 appearances for the Portland Pilots this spring at a 5.08 ERA. Throws outside to Brady Casper. 1-2 is the count to the leadoff man in the bottom of the 8th. The Raptors down to their final 6 outs, needing 5 runs to come back in the division series opener. 1-2 pitch to Casper is in for strike 3, looking on a fastball. And Brett Gillis gets the punch out. First one for him. And the 4th punch out issued by Gillis's today. And there is one away, with Doyle Kane the batter. Doyle, who has a home run, a triple, and a fly out on the day, and his hardest hit ball was the fly out as he takes a pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. 1 away, bases empty, 5-run lead for the Knights. He'll perhaps try to match Kiko Romero, who had a home run and then a triple, and then later a single. Well, Kane has a home run and a triple, and now his next at-bat continues with a swinging miss. 0-2 the count to Doyle. He's had just 3 at-bats in the day, while Romero has had 5. And Romero a double shy of the cycle. Doyle Kane with the home run and the triple so far. He has an 0-2 count from Brett Gillis. Right-hander comes set and throws off speed down and away for ball 1 to Doyle Kane. On deck is Brooks Dyer. 5-run lead for the Corvallis Knights. Game 1 in this series as the Knights go for their 5th consecutive West Coast League title. They did not win last year. Nobody did. No action in 2020, but here in 2021, it's the Corvallis Knights back at it, facing a new opponent in the playoffs. First ever time these teams to face each other in the postseason. A ball away to Doyle Kane, 2-2 the count. This is the first postseason game in Ridgefield history. It started out, unfortunately, well, the first 2 innings were good as Brock Gillis started well. Corvallis got 7 runs, but credit Ridgefield striking back and keeping it close. Doyle Kane grounds one toward short. Riley Way running in, and the shortstop fires to first to get Doyle Kane. A 6-3 putout, 2 away in the bottom of the 8th inning. Still a 5-run lead for the Knights, and Brooks Dyer the batter. Quadrice Teague will move to the on-deck circle with 2 down, bottom of the 8th. It'll be Thomas Playhouse most likely back in the ninth, although Ridgefield does have a thrower in the bullpen. I believe that's Josiah Nickel in the pen. So it'll be either Nickel or Blayhouse in the ninth inning to try to keep the margin at wherever it ends up being after this frame. 2 on, nobody out. Dyer, the batter, called strike to Brooks out of Eastern Oregon. Did not overlap with Andrew Trotman, a reliever for Ridgefield, who also pitches for Clark, but Brooks was there first and then transferred away while Trotman came in after him. Dyer takes a ball 1-1. They do know each other, not from Clark, but, well, from Clark. Brooks went back and hit with the Penguins afterwards and stayed in touch with the program. He's from Vancouver. 1-1 pitch is down for ball 2. 2 on, nobody, or 2 out, nobody on. A 5-run lead for the Knights, bottom of the 8th. Brooks Dyer transferred to Benedictine University at Mesa down in California and then wanted to find a new home, and it was his old Clark coach, Mark Magdaleno, that helped connect him with Eastern Oregon. Dyer goes way back with Mags, who's also the coach with the Pickles. 2-1 pitch is in for strike 2. And Magdaleno knew that Eastern Oregon was restarting its program. The Mountaineers out of Eastern Oregon, starting out, they had their first year returning to play this past spring, and Brooks Dyer was on that team with Nick Jennings, who was a pitcher for Ridgefield earlier this summer. So Brooks Dyer, an infielder for Eastern Oregon. As a 2-2 count from Brent Gillis from the stretch. Fastball he pokes at, reaches into right field. It'll get towards foul territory and land inside the field of play, but on the turf, as neither the first baseman Romero or the right fielder Stan Cotto could get there. And it remains a 2-ball, 2-strike count to Brooks Dyer. 2 away, bases empty. Corvallis ahead 11-6. Dyer, who's over 3, hard hit balls a couple times, a liner to center field. Robbed of a base hit by Briley Knight, who's now shading him towards right center, unlike his earlier at-bat. 2-2 pitches down for ball 3. Knight was playing in straightaway center field. The ball was hit directly at him, but well in front of him, and Briley made the catch on it. This time, Briley has moved way over to right center. So there's a gigantic gap between the left fielder and center fielder. Here's the payoff to Brooks Dyer. A ground ball up the middle. Travis Bazana jump throw to first in time. Travis Bazana makes a leaping throw and gets Brooks Dyer at first. And Brooks has been robbed twice today of base hits. He's put the ball in play all 4 times. He is unfortunately 0 for 4. And that's thanks to Briley Knight and Travis Bazana making some tremendous plays in the field. We are through 8 innings from the Rourke. It'll be Thomas Blayhouse back to the slab for the Raptors in the 9th, with the Corvallis Knights ahead 11-6.
Dick Hanna Dealerships is proud to welcome everyone back to support our Ridgefield Raptors. Just in time for warm summer nights with family and friends, lounging on the lawn, or eating dogs in the stands. Feels good to be back. In business for over 70 years, Dick Hanna Dealerships is a local, family-owned business with locations in Vancouver, Kelso, and Portland. Choose from thousands of cars and 12 new car brands. Experience nice in the car business. Dick Hanna Dealerships. Believe in nice. Now play ball.
Oh, I love family road trips. Wind in my ears, treats in my mouth, and peace of mind knowing Les Schwab did our tires, brakes, and alignment. Like Les Schwab, my family's safety is my first priority. Well, that and squeaky toys.
Les Schwab Tires, proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row. For J.D. Power 2021 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Top of the 9th inning in Game 1 of the divisional series between the Ridgefield Raptors and the visiting Corvallis Knights. Corvallis with the home field advantage in the latter half of the best-of-3 series. Tomorrow at Goss Stadium. Monday, if we get to a Game 3, Goss Stadium as well. 6:35 both times. An audio stream right where you're listening. If you click Listen Live, you can click that same link. If you're on Watch Live right now on the YouTube page, just go back to ridgefieldraptors.com, click Listen Live for all the road games, including tomorrow and Monday. 5-run lead for the Corvallis Knights. Top of the 9th inning, Thomas Blayhouse back to the mound. And Tyson Corio, the batter, fouls one away. 0-1 the count from Thomas Blayhouse, who is from Edmonds Woodway, Washington, up in the northern part of the Evergreen State. Spent 2 years at UW, did not play in 2020, and redshirted 2021 to a freshman. Ground ball to short on the second hop. Tanner Jocksfields makes a whip throw to first and gets it there in time. Tanner Jocks, the nice throw from short, one away in the top of the ninth. 5-run lead for the Knights, 11-6 is the score. Spencer Scott, the batter. Riley Way would be next. Thomas Blayhouse, who graduated 2019 from Edmonds Woodway High School, threw a no-no his sophomore year of high school. As Blayhouse will receive a mound visit now. I think the plan may have been to get him on the lefty-lefty, and then, or one more batter, I should say, and then have Josiah Nickel come in. And indeed, Josiah does come in to face and try to get the final 2 outs of the ninth inning, with Ridgefield trailing by 5. And so Josiah Nickel comes in just to finish that thought on Thomas Blayhouse, as Josiah Nickel will come in with a 5-run deficit for the Raptors. He'll face Spencer Scott and Riley Way. Thomas Blayhouse threw a no-hitter his sophomore year of high school and was 1 base runner shy of perfection. Only allowed 1 base run, had a full count in the 6th inning, and threw just off the plate, inches from a perfect game had he gotten that strikeout, and retired all the rest of the batters. And I asked him, would you go back and change it if you could, get the strikeout and get a perfect game? He said, no, I want to throw another one. I want to do it again and get it the real way. For a guy who was first team all-league as a designated hitter, second team as a pitcher at Edmonds Woodway, missed his junior year with a partially torn UCL, and then missed his senior year due to COVID when that year was canceled. And now pitching for the Ridgefield Raptors, he does well and gets the first out of the 9th inning. After pitching the 8th as well, Josiah Nickel comes in. Josiah, who's mostly been an outfielder for the Raptors, well, that's kind of misleading. He's come in and started 3 games in both corner outfield spots. Although he has seen just 3 pitches in the outfield. He started 3 games, got pulled out after the first pitch each time, and has also pitched in 1 game. Nickel, who he started 4 games in the outfield. Each time was just to get his games up to be playoff eligible. He did pitch against Corvallis, went 2 2/3 6 days ago against the Knights here in Ridgefield. Allowed 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 walks of the 12 batters he faced. And now will face the Knights again. Faced Corvallis as well, Northwest Star Academy, who's playing for the Nighthawks, a feeder team for the Raptors. And so he's well familiar with his Corvallis squad. And he'll face Spencer Scott, the third baseman today, who's got 2 singles, and he's 2 for 4 on the evening. Both his base hits in the 3rd inning when the Knights scored 7 runs that frame. They do lead 11-6 in the top of the 9th inning. 1 out, bases empty. Josiah Nickel into the game. And the right-hander into the wind, and a pitch low for ball 1. He's transferring to University of Antelope Valley, and he'll play his first year down in Lancaster this upcoming season. 1-0 pitch is a grounder to third. Brooks Dyer backs up. The third baseman makes the field, throws to first, and it pulls Lovings off the bag. He had to jump for it, and by the time he came back down, Spencer Scott had reached. And it'll go down as a throwing error on Brooks Dyer, E5 on the play. And Scott safe at first. Riley Way, the batter. 3 singles on the day for Riley Way. His team up by 5. The runner on first in the top of the 9th. Josiah Nickel now to the stretch, and it's hit to left field going over as Doyle Kane. He'll have to play it on a bounce. A first pitch single for Riley Way, who has himself a 4-single day. And that moves Spencer Scott to second base, 1 down, and Travis Bazana is the batter. Travis has had himself a relatively quiet night for himself. He does have a base hit, 2 stolen bases, and a run scored. But just 1 hit and 1 single is below his average. He's hitting .429 in the summer with 18 doubles, 5 triples, 6 home runs for the 18-year-old. He's now facing Josiah Nickel. Leadoff man is Bazana, as runners in first and second, and flies one to left field. It'll get down a foul ball and bounces over the wall into the grassy berm along the left field foul territory. And an 0-1 count to Travis Bazana. First in the league in runs scored as well, 46 of them, and has scored twice today. Tied for first in triples, second in doubles, best batting average in the league. Has an 0-1 count, runners on first and second with one away in the ninth inning. Here comes Nickel and actually steps over and looks back at second to get the lead man back. Spencer Scott reached on an error. Riley Way with a single. First two batters faced for Josiah Nickel. The right-hander out of Vancouver, Washington. The 0-1 from Josiah. Grounder, first base side, foul from Bazana in front of the 83-mile-an-hour throw from Nickel. The 6'5 right-hander wearing number 35, worn by Hudson Leach earlier this summer, and Nickel takes that mantle and trying to get Bazana out here. No balls and two strikes from Josiah Nickel, looking back at second, now to the plate, and another foul ball on the first base side, same result. It keeps the count at 0-2. Outfield playing him straight up. Infield with the biggest gap on the left side. Tanner Jocks toward second with a runner there in scoring position. Bazana had a single in the fourth inning, stole second, his second stolen base of the day, later scored. The Knights ahead by 5 in the ninth inning. Ground ball, this one fair territory. Lovings will run it to the bag for the second out, and both runners will advance. 2 down, Bazana retired and unassisted put out by the first baseman. And he has had himself a 1-for-4 day with a walk, a sac bunt when he reached on an error and scored, and a single with a run scored. So a decent day for Travis Bazana. Briley Knight, who's also been in that category. Pretty decent day for Briley. An RBI single, an RBI walk. He's 1-for-4. Has 2 runners in scoring position. His team up by 5 in the ninth inning. And watches ball 1 in the turf. 1-0 the count from Josiah Nickel. Ridgefield back in action tomorrow for game 2. We'll hope it brings good tidings down to Goss Stadium as an off-speed on the inside corner tonight. 1-1 the count, 2 down in the top of the ninth. Corvallis ahead 11-6. If Corvallis does win this game, Ridgefield will have its backs against the wall in game 2 tomorrow, needing a win to force game 3 also in Corvallis, which would be Monday. All games this series at 6:35. 1-1 pitch is lifted into center field. Teague will have to come in on it, and it will land in no man's land and score 2. Coming in from third base to score is Spencer Scott, and Riley Way running on the crack of the bat with 2 outs. Scores as well. It's a 2 RBI single for Briley Knight on a little nubber that got out of the infield and lands right in between Tanner Jocks and Quadris Teague for a 2 RBI base hit for Briley Knight. He's up to 4 runs batted in on the evening, and Nick Vogt will be the batter with 1 on and 2 out. It's now a 13-6 advantage for the Corvallis Knights. And the difference now is that third inning when Ridgefield came in, and it was a scoreless ball game through 2 innings, and the Knights got 7 runs in that third. And these two teams have played even since then, 6-6. But that third inning being the difference, and a sizable difference it is. 13-6 the margin, top of the ninth, 2 down. Nick Vogt swings late and fouls it away. 0-1 to the UC Santa Barbara Gaucho out of Woodland, California. Has a pair of RBI singles on the day, a double as well. He is 3 for 5 on the evening. Could be the final home game for Ridgefield unless they do come back and either win this one or the next 2 games in a row. If they do lose this series, this will be the last home game, and it's been a fun year here at the Rourke. Ridgefield a winning record at this ballpark and getting the fans back in play. Foul ball behind home plate. 0-2 is the count to Vogt. Just to have baseball back in the West Coast League at this beautiful venue, among the league's best. Both for the playing surface and the seating, just a clean ballpark. The players know it too. They like to play here. It's one of the best ballparks to play in around the league. And I hope it's not the last home game, but if it is, it's been another fun year in Ridgefield. 0-2 pitch, bounces in front of Heiser and bounces over his shoulder for a wild pitch, and the runner advances to second. Riley Knight into scoring position. 2 down, top of the ninth. It's Corvallis 13, Ridgefield 6. Nick Vogt, the designated hitter, at the plate. Here's the 1-2 from Nickel, and the fastball on the inside edge for strike 3. And the inning is over. 6th strikeout of the day for Ridgefield pitchers. And a strikeout looking for Josiah Nickel to end the frame. 2 runs come in on a bloop single for the Corvallis Knights. 2 hits on the inning. They're up to 17 on the day. And they do have a 7-run lead as Ridgefield comes to the plate in the bottom of the 9th. Last 3 outs to work with against Brett Gillis and the Corvallis Knights in the bottom of the final inning from the Rourke. Stay with us.
Found a giant spider in my bed.
Stepped outside and a hornet stung my head.
Got ants around the scene,
And I am starting to think the experts that I know are gonna make me pest-free.
Natura Pest Control, killing your bugs and rodents, baby. Natura Pest Control, call today, get a quote for free.
Hey baseball fans, after the game visit A, the area's premier gaming, dining, entertainment, and meeting destination. A is a proud supporter of the Ridgefield Raptors and the perfect place to meet up with friends after a Raptors win for dinner, drinks, and great times. Keep the fun and excitement going after the 9th inning and grab beers at Tom's Urban. Or enjoy a perfectly cooked porterhouse at Michael Jordan's Steakhouse. With 100,000 square feet of gaming space, 15 different restaurants, bars, and retail outlets to choose from, A has just what you need to turn your night at the ballgame into a night you won't forget. A, just off I-5 at exit 16, ILANIresort.com.
Bottom of the 9th inning here in Game 1 of the divisional series. Corvallis with the lead, 13-6 is the margin. Quadri's Teague will lead off, with Brent Gillis still on the mound for the Corvallis Knights, and the first pitch is fouled back from Teague. 0-1 the count for Quadris, who is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored on the day, scoring the first run for the Raptors. After Ridgefield had given up a 7 spot in the top half of the 3rd inning, he got Ridgefield on the board. And Ridgefield has scored 5 more runs since then, but the Knights have continued to score whenever Ridgefield scores, stymie each run, and stay in front. 13-6 the margin. A ball to Teague now, 1-1 is the count to Quadris out of Clark College. Left-hand hitter takes for strike 2, 1-2 from Brett Gillis, who threw last inning a 1-2-3 frame for Gilly. And now facing the bottom of the order, it's the 9-1-2 hitters for the Raptors in the bottom of the 9th, needing 7 runs to come back and tie. If they can't do it, they'll have to win 2 in a row at Goss Stadium tomorrow and Monday. Here's the 1-2 from Gillis. It's down but swung on, and strike 3 on Quadri's Teague, 1 away in the bottom of the 9th inning as Brett Gillis gets his second punch out of the 4 batters he has faced. And Tanner Jocks will be the hitter. Mikey Kane on deck. Tanner 2 for 4 on the day for Tanner Jocks. We brought it up a couple times. Tanner's favorite stat on the year, and one that I brought up with him, one he very much enjoys as he takes the first pitch. 1 away, nobody on, a called strike. Is that there have been 2 games in Ridgefield history, granted just 2 years of Ridgefield baseball, but 2 years in Ridgefield history where a player for the Raptors has walked 4 times in the same game, 4 walks. Both times it's Tanner Jocks. He's done it twice this year. As he checks his swing, no swing. Ball 1, 1-1. Tanner's done that. He's also in the record book with the first inside the park home run for any Raptors player, and that was on Thursday. I don't believe there's any video existing of that inside the park home run. Walla Walla has a live stream, but it cut out for that inning, so you cannot see it. A 1-1 pitch is a called strike to Tanner. He mentioned that his dad was there in Walla Walla and was filming that game with his phone, or was held out his phone for Tanner's at bat, but was so surprised by what was happening on the field with Tanner's home run that he forgot to pan the camera, and so you can't see what happened in right field. As Tanner takes a pitch on the outside corner, and Brent Gillis rings him up looking 2 down for the Raptors in the bottom of the 9th. And a 7-run lead for the Knights. 1 more out, and they'll start out the divisional series 1-0. It'll be Mikey Kane to the plate, 2 for 4 in the ball game. This at-bat will decide if he goes into Game 2 with an average above 500 on the year or below. He is 11 for 22 in the summer. Joined the team a couple weeks ago and has played really well ever since then. And a pitch that runs across the zone and nicks the corner for strike 1. Ridgefield down to its final out in this game, trailing by 7. Base is empty. And Mikey Kane, the batter, out of College of the Canyons, grew up in Santa Clarita, right where COC is located. The 0-1 from Gillis is a foul ball back. So if we do see a Ridgefield win tomorrow to even the series, it would be Monday 6:35, and then no matter what, a day off Tuesday. Even if both divisional series, the Northern and the Southern, even if they both go just 2 games, you'd still have a day off Tuesday, so you could have 2 days off, and then start out Wednesday in the championship series. Here's the 0-2 to Mikey Kane. It is outside for ball 1. 1-2 with 2 down. On deck is Isaac Lovings, who has gone 1 for 4 today with a run scored. Ridgefield trailing by 7, bottom of the 9th. Corvallis needs 1 more out, and then they'll have home field advantage and a 1-game lead in the series. 1-2 pitch, off speed, nearly hit Kane. A little bit of chin music, and it's 2-2. Kane turning away from that one, so Corvallis would just need to win 1 of 2 games at home. They'd move on to the championship series for the 5th consecutive season. And they have not only made it to the championship series 4 times in a row, but won the championship 2016 through 2019, and then nobody won last year. 2-2 to Mikey Kane. It's down and away. Full count now with 2 down to Mikey Kane. The second baseman today, who's played well defensively, made a couple nice stops there as the second baseman. Mikey Kane now trying to extend the game with a base hit. Here's the full count pitch to Mikey, and he pokes it into right field. It'll tail foul and land on the wall down the right field line. And it remains a full count to Mikey Kane. With 2 down, Corvallis scoring 7 runs in the 3rd. They tacked on a couple next inning, 1 more in the 5th. Did not score in the 6th or 7th, but did score 1 in the 8th and 2 more in the 9th. As Ridgefield itself made it close a few times. 1 run in the bottom of the 3rd, scored 3 in the 4th, and added a couple between the 6th and the 7th. Here's the payoff to Kane. He hits it off the hands. It'll land on the foul line on the first base side and go foul in front of the bag. As he hit it off the end of the bat, just off his hands, I mean, almost on the handle, and barely missed his knuckles, and it got on the first base side, spinning wildly, and landed in fair territory, and then went to the first base side to the wall, and since it never got past the bag once it was touched, it was foul by the first baseman Romero, and remains a full count. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Base is empty. Here's the payoff from Gillis. Fastball again hit foul, and Mikey Kane does not want this game to end, and for good reason. Keep on extending it. Ridgefield trying to battle here. If Ridgefield does not win this series, this will be the final game of this ballpark, and Mikey Kane trying to not make it the final at-bat of the home season for Ridgefield. Of course, the Raptors could win a couple against Corvallis, get to the championship series. Be a tough sledding, but a lot can happen in the playoffs. Here's the full count to Mikey Kane. It's in, called 3rd strike from Brett Gillis, and the ball game is over. Gillis strikes out the side in the 9th. He gets 4 punch-outs of the 6 batters he faces, and a good finish for Brett Gillis. Not a save opportunity for him, but he closes it out. And the final score from Ridgefield, it's the Corvallis Knights 13 and the Ridgefield Raptors 6. Good fight for the Raptors. Corvallis jumped out ahead early, and a well-earned victory for the Knights. But Ridgefield never let it slip away and stayed in it, tying up Corvallis from that point on after Corvallis had a big right-hand jab right to the face in the 3rd inning. But after that, it was an even 6-6 ball game. Of course, you can't throw out the 3rd inning. That's not how baseball works, so that's why Corvallis wins 13-6. But Corvallis played evenly since then, and now we'll head into Game 2 tomorrow. 6:35, audio stream only tomorrow, RidgefieldRaptors.com, and click Listen Live from Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. If Ridgefield loses, the season's over. If Ridgefield wins, Game 3 would be Monday in a deciding game in the divisional series, also at Goss Stadium. Well, for everyone listening, so glad that you've tuned in, been a part of Ridgefield Raptors baseball all summer long, and glad that you've been able to follow along. And if this is the final home game on behalf of the organization and everyone here working at the work, it's been a really fun year, a really satisfying year to get West Coast League baseball back, and it's not over yet. At least one more game to go for the Raptors here in the summer as they try to get a win in their first playoff victory if they can, and that road will start tomorrow. Bellingham, at last check, has not finished the win, but they're up 14-1 over Yakima. We'll see how that game finishes out. Final score again, Corvallis 13 and Ridgefield 6. Good day for Doyle Kane, a home run and a triple on the day. As his brother Mikey Kane 2 singles. So the Kane brothers combining for 4 hits and nearly for the cycle between them. Will Chambers had an RBI double. Isaac Loving's a base hit. Tanner Jocks 2 hits. And that was most of the offense there. Quadri's Teague, a run scored. And that will do it from Ridgefield. Again, join us tomorrow, 6:35, the first pitch from Corvallis. My name's Josh Warden. For Sam Mosier and Gus Farah, Tony Bonacci, Wade Siegel, and Jason Crone, I'm happy to be joining you again tomorrow for what we hope is not the final game of the season for Ridgefield. See you tomorrow at 6:35. Until then, have a great night, everybody. So long.